morning.
Good morning.
We were just chatting before the show. Said it's so nice to be back, isn't it?
Like genuinely.
Yeah.
Big smiles on our face because we're in our happy place in the potting sheds.
We are. So it's the first show of 2025. And we were just, talking together. It's so lovely, isn't it, at the start of a new year, to plan your garden, to make some, decisions about what you're going to do, maybe do things slightly differently, get inspired again. And we have got some amazing deals today. We really, really have. And some really big plants as well. I mean, this castor oil plant is under £15 and it is absolutely huge. We've got lots of bare root specs as well, haven't we?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point because we are obviously in bare root season. It's the perfect time to be getting those bare roots planted. So we've got Patty's plum. We've got one of the favourites, the geranium and the potentilla mix. We've also got that beautiful poppy at the end there.
Yeah, the Patty's plum.
Patty's plum. No,
yes.
Coral Sunset. That was the other one.
Yes, the peony.
Lovely. Can't wait.
And I tell you what, I've got mine. We've got a beautiful viburnum that looks like a hydrangea. I nearly bought it last year, and I didn't. But yeah, there's loads coming up.
You've got big plans for hydrangeas in your garden this year, haven't you?
So I've decided to dig up my lavender because it's gone really woody, and I'm going to replace it all with hydrangeas.
Very good.
Yes.
Love it. Good idea.
So anyway, let us know what plans you've got. Let us know what you're looking for. We love when you get involved. You can email us ygtv@yougarden.com.
I forgot the iPad. I will get it.
I can go get it. My legs are feeling sprightly this morning.
ygtv@yougarden.com. Yeah, Sean's just getting the iPads. Do send us your emails. Happy New Year to you all. We're loving having your company. So if you want to send us any pictures, any questions, any comments, you can do that via the email address down the bottom there, or of course on the YouTube chat or the Facebook chat as well.
And maybe I shouldn't share this with you, but I'm going to now. Stu, who Stu does all the technical things. He's the clever one. He went to all kind of, 2024, and everything was so positive, like more viewing figures.
Oh, yeah.
Loads of you watch our online content, videos. I mean, more than ever. Our TikTok shop has been super busy as well.
Yeah, that's really good.
So we had a really good year. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate all of your support. I'm going to make 2025 even bigger and better. Now, a few things you might need to know because you might be new. You might have just stumbled across us. We are going to continue doing a free gift, hopefully with every single show. And this is a really good one. It is the Blooming Fast. It's 100 grams. That will make, in terms of watering cans, 10 watering cans full of amazing NPK and all of your trace elements and minerals as well.
It's going to last quite a while. It's the sort of thing that you want to store, basically, stock up on, and you get one per order as well. It's not one per customer.
No.
Every order that you place this week will include that, as long as you use this code that you can see on the screen there. Oh, it's a new code. We've started a new year.
Oh, yes.
YGTV
It's got 25 on there.
0125. So when you place your order, enter that code where it says, do you have an offer code? The free gift will go into your basket, but the code doesn't just do that. It unlocks loads of different things.
Now, I've got to be careful what I say because I'm under strict instructions not to say too much, but if you are not a member of our discount club, you need to, I would join before Monday. That's all I'm going to say.
It's only £5 to join at the moment, so that would be an amazing thing, wouldn't it? £5, 12 months membership, giving you 10% discount off everything you buy.
Yeah, but you'll know why. When it comes to Monday, you'll know why you should have ordered today and joined. So we are expecting really big things in our club for 2025, but if you're not a member, promise me you'll do it before Monday. Do it today. Most of you are already, but there'll be one or two of you that are not currently members, and it will give you so many amazing benefits in 2025. Right, what else have we mentioned? Because we might be a bit
Free
rusty.
postage.
Well done, Bex.
Thank you. If you get your order to over £40 and you enter that code YGTV0125, we will give you free shipping. So over 40, no postage to pay. Under 40, just one postage cost.
Yeah. And so we would love you to get involved as always. Right, now, I can honestly say the best thing to do is to shop right across the website right now. You can have a look ahead. We're going to be live until 1 o'clock this afternoon. But so you can actually have a little look at everything that is coming up. And our website looks better than ever, doesn't it? It really does.
It's looking great.
Loads of great ideas on there as well. And don't forget, if you ever want to see a show that you've missed, you can actually catch up as well.
Yeah, did you watch our Christmas specials that
I did.
we had?
Yeah.
I need to go back and
do you
watch
know what? It was almost as good as Gavin and Stacey.
Was it?
Yeah.
I did enjoy filming those, actually, so I hope you watched them. Did you enjoy them? Let us know what you thought.
Yes.
We had some fun in those shows, didn't we?
We really did. And let us know if you thought we were as good as Gavin and Stacey. I very much doubt it. Right, let's begin then, because we are going to start off. Now, I'm having a moist January, not a dry one. So I'm definitely cutting back on the booze. But we are going to start off with a slightly boozy plant known as gin and tonic. But don't worry if you're thinking, oh no, I'm on the wagon, Shaun, I'm not drinking. This is all about the fragrance. And actually, this is a new one for me and Bex. But when we actually smell the leaves, that citrus scent is,
It's beautiful. Our lovely Craig was in here just having a little titivate and tidy up, and he was trimming a few little bits on the plant. And honestly, the smell that was released from that foliage was incredible. It's called gin and tonic plant because it actually, when you like touch or crush those leaves, you get this lovely citrus scent coming from it, which apparently is very reminiscent to that popular drink, the gin and tonic.
Well, it is. I mean, I'm partial to G&T, and you've got all of those lovely botanicals in there, and you've certainly got that fragrance. But when you see the star-shaped flowers on here, they are beautiful, aren't they? They
really are gorgeous. And actually, you can see on the plant right now, there are these lovely little pink buds just forming. And then they burst open into these white star-shaped flowers. And it's a beautiful, hardy, reliable spring flowering shrub for you. So sort of around sort of March, April, into May time, those flowers will burst open and you'll get a scent from the flowers as well as the foliage.
So do you know what I'm thinking? This is going to flower about a similar time to my choice here.
Yeah.
So you could actually have it like near that and you get... Oh, that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and it would be great, actually, the two of them together, because you'll have that lovely scent. It can get to about, I mean, full growth, we are probably talking a couple of metres, height and spread here, but really hardy, really reliable, and very, very simple to look after. So just a little bit of pruning occasionally. And
I do love the fact that it's evergreen as well. You know, there's so many plants in the garden now that just look pretty dreadful at this time of year. That one doesn't. And what an amazing price, already well established, $7.99. Don't forget to get all of the discounts. You do need to use that special code YGTV0125, not 24, 25.
25, yay.
Now we have got a few new items for you as well, things that you may never have seen before. And YouGarden, every year we do always try and bring you new varieties, new breeds, things a little bit different. And this is a very unusual climber. People often call this the Australian bluebell because flowers are like bluebells, aren't they?
They are indeed, yeah. It's a creeper as well, so this is a climbing plant. So this is going to be perfect for our tower pot, for example. I'm going to recommend the tower pot.
Yes.
Because this one is it's sort of half hardy, okay? So it's going to need probably a little bit of protection. It can probably cope with, you know, starting minus temperatures down to about -5, but if you really want to look after this, then yeah, the tower pot would be perfect. It's nice and self-contained, and then you can move it as you need to. The benefits of this, though, is that it's evergreen, which is fantastic for a climbing plant. There are a few evergreen ones out there, but a lot of them do tend to be deciduous. But this one will keep those leaves, but you will get those lovely sort of nodding bluebell-like flowers on here.
I'm really tempted with this one.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I've only seen it once before. And these are what the flowers look like. And it flowers, it's a late summer, early autumn flower. And it actually just produces weird beans, doesn't it?
Yeah, these sort of little sausage-shaped kind of berries.
Yes.
They can be quite big as well, probably about 2 centimetres in length. They are edible as well. You can eat them.
Yeah.
They're likened a bit to a blueberry. But yeah, it's providing interest, isn't it? Because you've got the evergreen nature of the foliage. You've got the flowers, late summer, early autumn, and then you've got the berries on there as well. So lots and lots of interest with this one.
And as Bex said, ideal in a tower pot, because it doesn't go too big either, this one, does it?
Only about metre and a half, yeah. So it would be perfect size for a tower pot, this one.
Yeah, I like the sound of it. It's only $9.99 as well. See, that could be my first purchase of 2025.
First purchase of 2025. What's it going to be? Ooh.
See, I'm thinking I could maybe grow this up with my jasmine because they flower at different times. So
jasmine will be earlier in the summer, and then this one will follow it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Hey, anyway, let us know what you think of it. Brand new today, 510-972. Now, it may be dry January for some of you, but you are loving your gin teas.
Yeah.
This is the gin and tonic plant, already proven popular, and it is down from nearly £25 to $7.99. And it is our deal of the week, I should have said that. So you've got a limited time to snap this up at that ridiculous low price. Do you know, I actually think the foliage is really nice and pretty as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got like a sagey kind of shape to it. And then you've got the lovely pink buds just forming on there. I mean, you can see how many buds there are and how many flowers that means there's going to be on this plant. And then as it gets to full size, you know, it'll take a little while to get there, but a couple of metres height and spread, the amount of flowers that you'll have on here in that lovely, perfect springtime display, incredible.
Yeah, and that's going to be flying at the same time as, you know, maybe your daffodils.
Yeah.
All of your spring bulbs.
As your choices starting to come in.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lovely plant.
The scent is incredible. It really is. I mean, just take one of those leaves and it's such a... It is a citrusy smell, isn't it? It genuinely is.
In fact...
That gin and tonic smell. Oh, lovely. Oh, Stu's saying he's got a message from Adam Walcott this morning.
You know Adam, one of our lovely gardening friends that joins us.
He's excited about spring happening, bulbs coming up.
So Adam and I, we really hate the short days in the winter. And Adam and we often talk about, you know, once you get to like December the 21st, 22nd, and then the days start to lengthen, yours feels so much better. And
so much better.
Every day we are getting an extra minute or two of sunshine. Well, maybe not sunshine, but light anyway. Right, if you want... I think the best size castor oil plant that we've ever done. Wow, look at that. They're all really big at the moment. They're all really big. It's a Fatsia japonica, which...
Stu's calling it the Fatsia gigantica.
Which I think is a great name for it. It's $13.99.
That is amazing for the size of that plant already. Look at the size of it. Honestly, what is that, like 3 feet high already?
I would say so.
That's incredible. So you're already getting just a really well-established plant that's going to fill the corner of somewhere beautifully, but it can work so well in a pot as well. So if you're into your container gardening, you can actually grow these in a container. It's award-winning as well. This has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, and it is beautiful. All year round, this looks incredible.
I mean, I always think that with the castor oil plant, they look so exotic. I love the kind of the lobe leaves that you've got. They do flower as well. So normally they are flowers at like November, December time. These really weird sort of like white ball-like flowers. But what I love about this, and Bex and I have both got these in our garden, they do very well in a shady spot as well as sunny. So that awkward corner that's a little bit shady, this can do fantastic. And what is really, I think, impressed about this, it's a very reliable, it's very easy. I mean, you've got clay soil, Bex, and yours does fine in clay, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it slows the growth rate down slightly, but it lives perfectly in there, honestly. And as somebody who struggles with their garden because of the clay soil, having a plant that does well, that thrives in that clay soil and a shady spot, that is a real winner.
Now, I'm going to be really honest. I think the sooner you can get this repotted or planted, the better, because it is a little bit large for its pot. And
it's outgrowing that pot, isn't it?
I mean, look, like, just being really honest, like, roots are coming through. What we could actually do, if we wanted to, on the nursery, we could, put this in a 3-litre pot and pretty much double the price. Yeah. Because that's what nurseries do. So we could literally repot that, would take a couple of minutes and command a far bigger price. But what you're actually getting is a huge Fatsia in a 17cm pot. It will need repotting, say, as soon as you possibly can, only because it's likely to maybe blow over because it's quite top heavy, this one.
Yeah, definitely.
Just looking at the flowers there, they're weird and wonderful, aren't they?
Love those flowers, and they come out sort of late autumn, so about probably October and November time, those flowers start to appear, and they just top the plant. Yeah. These weird globe, creamy white flowers you get, and their pollinators actually really like them as well. So for those pollinators that are around at that time of year, it's a really valuable nectar source. And
Jill, we have got some planters on the show.
Yeah.
And this one it's the barley, isn't it?
Barley, yeah.
But just give you an idea, look at that.
Oh,
I mean,
that
come
looks
on.
Really good. That looks really good. Woo.
Oh.
Put some compost in it.
Yeah. I told you, it does need repotting because it is a bit top heavy. But I mean, and they're all this kind of size. If you do want the planter, because I think it looks gorgeous in that.
I'm tempted.
Yeah.
I'm tempted. I've got the Fatsia spider's web. Maybe it's time to add the japonica in, and I'll have it in a pot. Thank you very much.
Doesn't that look lovely?
The barley, by the way, is just £9.99 today. You are saving £8 on that one, as long as you enter the code to get that saving.
I mean, that is so impressive.
That's nice. Quick good morning to Julia, by the way. Hello. Thank
Morning.
you very much for your message on YouTube. She says Happy New Year to everyone. Bill is also in, saying Happy New Year from sunny Scotland. Grimmy is in as well, saying Happy New Year. And Neil, of course, thank you so much for your messages in the YouTube chat. Lots of regular names in there. It's always nice to see your faces popping up.
Yes.
Who's going to be the first email of the year, Stu is asking. ygtv@yougarden.com. That's where you send your emails to, and you know how much we love seeing your pictures as well. So if you want to attach a picture to that, we'd love to see into your gardens.
Yes, and don't forget, if you ever want to follow Bex and I on our own social media, because Bex is going to make you're going to do a bit more this year.
I'm going to make an effort.
Yes, I'm going to just stay the same. I'll post fairly regularly. But you can follow us on our individual, socials, and we often put a mixture of what we're doing in the garden and other things that have been happening in our very exciting lives.
Very exciting lives. Very exciting lives. Sorry, Stu, you asked me a question then and I missed it. Is there plenty of puppy spam on mine? Yeah, there's a little bit. I haven't done loads, but there might be a few extra. I've got a new puppy and he's beautiful.
And on mine, you'll see lots of pictures. I mean, for some reason, this Christmas and New Year, the amount of parties I went to where everyone had to dress up. I mean, honestly, loads of fancy dresses.
It was 80s, wasn't it, on New Year's Eve?
Yes. And I went as Dixie's Midnight Runners, but I ended up looking like a weird farmer. But anyway, Shaun Man, presenter and plant man. Yeah, well done, Gariz. I was supposed to look like Jimmy Dixie's. Come on, Eileen. But yeah, I just look weird. Anyway, you feel free to follow us. And don't forget the gin and tonic plant. It's proving really popular. You get gorgeous star-shaped flowers, really fragrant, beautiful citrusy leaves, fully evergreen, grows to up to a couple of metres in terms of height there, but it's all about the fragrance. You're going to get those flowers in springtime, just as your daffodils are coming out, maybe even some of the early tulips as well. 510-986. Just a question from Stu. Did I watch Bullseye? I did. Did you?
Do you know, I saw the trailer, because it's got, what's his face, the old cricket guy. Freddie Flintoff, isn't it?
Yeah, he's great.
I love Freddie Flintoff, so I saw the trailer, but I didn't actually get to watch it.
In one, you'll never be alone with this brand new phone. In two, you've won the quiz. Time for some fizz. Bottle of champagne. Keep out the black and in the red. Nothing in this game but two in the bed. That's it. Take your time. Settle in. See? That's quite good, do you think?
Very good.
My dad used to love Bullseye. Anyway. Let's think of one for if you're given plants. I'll think of it. Hang on. What rhymes with plant, Bex?
I don't know. You put me on the spot. Chant. Grant. Slant.
They never give plants away anyway, do they?
No.
Anyway, let's move back to plants, shall we?
Let's move back to the one that Shaun is tempted on buying. This might be your first purchase of the year. I
remember this last year, and I don't know why I didn't buy it, because I fell in love with it.
I agree. This one is really, really beautiful. Award-winning plant as well. RHS Award of Garden Merit, so Garden Performer. That's what you need to know when it's got the RHS AGM. But this one is incredible because of the snowballs you're going to get on here. It's known as the snowball tree because of these clusters of white flowers that do, obviously, look reminiscent to snowballs.
To me, though, it does remind me of a hydrangea.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like a mop-head hydrangea. It isn't. It's a viburnum, but it's magnificent.
It's
isn't
exceptional, and this can get really big as well if you want it to. This can get to 4 metres height and spread here, so this is going to fill a border beautifully. Put it somewhere nice and sunny. It definitely wants to be in a nice sunny position, and then sort of early summer, so late spring, early summer, sort of May and into June time. Covered in those flowers.
That looks amazing.
It's going to be beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got a sunny spot for that to go into.
Yeah, I meant to about last year. I just thought the flowers look magnificent, and I do like viburnums, and we've got many different varieties. But I think it's fair to say this is one of the most striking and one of the most spectacular.
Yeah, loads of budding points here as well. You can see lovely budding points coming on there. Obviously, it's deciduous, so it's going to look, like this. But once you get it planted, obviously, this is really going to spring into life and be covered in those lovely, snowball-looking flowers. It is scented as well, so that one is a beautiful one. It flowers on the previous year's growth, so do bear that in mind when it comes to pruning.
Point, yes.
You don't want to cut away any of the old growth because you won't
flowers.
get those flowers. So just bear that in mind when you're
pruning.
pruning.
We've all done it sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I had a clematis that I inherited, and for 2 and 2 years I'm like, why is that never flowered? I'm cutting it back at completely the wrong time. But an absolute stunner, very easy to grow as well. Just likes that sunny spot, as Bex said there. 510-895. Now I was just thinking, looking at the viburnum, which doesn't look anything now, but it will do. When it gets to spring summer, it's going to look amazing. But when you put it next to the Nandina, isn't it incredible how, plants are so different? And the Nandina looks great now, doesn't it?
Well, this is the beautiful thing about Nandina. This one's the Gulf Stream that we've got here. Nandina is an evergreen plant. Just tilting that forward so you can see the foliage on there. It's evergreen, so it doesn't drop its leaves, but it has these wonderful kind of colours that come through. With the Gulf Stream, the new foliage comes through these amazing red, bronze, orange colours that you get on here. And it does that sort of in the springtime, and then you get the green tones in summer, and then you'll get the reds and golds in autumn and winter as well. It'll get red berries on there. Once it gets a bit more mature, obviously, it'll get the berries and the flowers as well. But the thing about Nandinas is that they are quite compact, I think, which is why they're really beneficial, because they work great in borders, but they're also perfect for keeping in pots as well for all year-round interest.
And I was just thinking, making plans with my garden this year, and what I love about Nandina is they are very low maintenance. They do always look good. There's lots of different varieties, and if you found gardening a bit of a struggle last year, because it was a challenging year because of the weather and things, Nandinas are so incredibly reliable. This one gets a little bit bigger than some of the others, about 1.5 meters, so a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger, but there's no maintenance you need to do on it. So, you can prune it a little bit and make it slightly more bushy, but ultimately you can just plant it and leave it, and it will just happily do its thing. I actually really like these. There's a house just around the corner from me that's got Nandinas out the front, and then what they've done is plant lavender in between them. And actually the combination of the two things works really well in the height of summer when lavender's doing its thing, but also looks really good in winter when lavender's gone over slightly. It looks really good combination.
And I just think for anybody that say wants low maintenance, reliable, but really beautiful foliage, flowers and berries, you cannot go wrong with an Nandina. And that price, it's only $7.49. It's not really nearly £15. It's a big plant. I've got some of mine in shady areas, some in sunny areas, different soil types. They're just not that fussy, are they?
No, not fussy at all. And my Nandina, I've got the one of the other varieties, but it is the focal point in my garden at the moment. I've got it in a pot. It's on the table, right in the centre. It's the absolute focal point. So if you're looking for interest all year round, but particularly in winter, you can't go wrong with Nandina.
And maybe you've already got some of the other varieties. We've got Firepower, I've got the Nandina Obsessed, but the Gulfstream was the newest, and they are all slightly different. So if you're already having good success with the Nandinas, but you just want to sort of increase your collection, but have a different variety, then the Gulfstream is a fantastic option.
Collect them all, why not? Get one
and so that one is a bit taller than some of the others, so great for maybe the back of the border, something like that. And don't forget, if you do spend over £40 today, you will get free delivery.
And that might be the one that tips you over, so you're not paying the $6.99 postage. So just play around with your basket a little bit to make it work for you.
Right, so
bless you, Stu, by the way.
So we're moving on to lavender. I'm giggling because I shouldn't really giggle, but if you saw the Christmas special, we talked about our biggest disasters in 2024, and I'm sad to say my lavender has finally sort of gone.
Yeah, mine still has to go as well. Mine's got loads of perennial weeds growing through it, and I've tried to clear them out, but there's just no chance. So I need to rip mine up
And
as
in
well.
honesty with lavender, although some people managed to keep it looking great for many, many years.
My mum did. She had it for years, honestly. Good 10 years, I reckon hers was in.
Mine went over this year, so, yeah, and you maybe you've got some lavender, it's got a little bit woody, you want to replace it. We are doing lavender today for £2.99. And I have to say, lavender, English lavender, is one of the best plants you could ever grow in your garden. And when it comes to the pollinators, I mean, I remember this last summer, the amount of bees and butterflies. You can actually hear it humming. I've got like a whole bed of lavender. You can actually hear it humming. And then the fragrance is amazing. And they're evergreen as well. We sometimes forget to say that, but they do look really great in the winter.
They do, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's the humming with life is what I really enjoy about it. I've got so many videos on my phone of lavender where bees are just hopping from one flower to the next. You obviously get the butterflies in there as well. It really is a haven for them. They adore it. And of course, it is quite low maintenance and it is quite drought tolerant as well. So once, obviously you're going to need to water it well to get it established, but once it's established, it's perfectly happy. This is mine out in the front garden before all the weeds were growing through it. Oh, there's a few. You can see a few of the weeds coming through, but look at that. Stu's just saying, have I put a filter on this? Because is it really that colour?
No,
I have not put a filter on it. That is the colour that the lavender grows through. It's so bright, so beautiful, and look at how much life is in there.
And don't forget, you can actually take the lavender and dry it. It's often used it's actually a clothes moth deterrent. So you know, like if you've got problems with clothes moths and get lots of holes and things, bit of lavender in there, they hate the smell of it, but often used in culinary uses. I mean, G&T, you can actually put a bit of lavender in your G&T. There's lavender
I actually
gins.
used that lavender border that I've got there. When I got married, I actually cut the lavender from there and dried it. And it was from those plants that I had them as little table decorations for my wedding. So I had lovely bundles of dried lavender in the middle of the tables.
So it's so many uses of lavender and very easy to grow. It does like a sunny spot, pretty tolerant with most soil types. Actually does quite well in the poor soil, actually.
Yeah, poor soil, not a problem at all. Yeah.
Doesn't do quite so well in clay soils, but you've managed, don't you?
Mine's all right, you know. And it's out the front of the house, which is the northeast side of the house, so it gets loads of morning sun, but then it disappears, and it actually does still really well out there. It's award-winning as well. The RHS have given it the Award of Garden Merit, as well as the badge of perfect for pollinators. So it's a definite winner for every garden.
All I would say, if your soil isn't very well drained, then when you plant it, just mix in some grit and some gravel. It does like good drainage, but it's very easy to grow, and so an absolute winner on so many different levels. Now we're going to move on to the Hypericum next, which, again, at this time of year, it's more about...
but I like this.
Yeah, I like it. In fact, Bex and I have said in the past few years, rather than chopping everything back, making everything neat and tidy in the winter, we do leave a lot of the old flowers and foliage on, and this actually I think it looks actually quite magical now.
I really like it, and I was that person that, you know, late autumn I'd go and, I used to call it putting the garden to bed. I used to go and trim back and prune and make it all look neat and tidy, and I used to do that all the time. The last 2, 3, maybe 4 years, I've stopped doing that, and I leave plants looking like this. I leave the old seed heads on and stuff, because it creates beautiful winter interest. Plus, it actually does help to protect the plant. It creates a lovely safe hiding spot for bugs and things in your garden, so it's a really good thing to do.
But when it comes to summertime...
Oh, yes.
Oh, these are amazing. And what is lovely with the Hypericum is you often get, you get the berries and the flowers all at the same time. So many different colours and shapes on that one plant. I remember we both remember seeing these on the nursery in late summer, and they looked amazing, didn't they?
That was a beautiful sunny day, absolutely gorgeous. And those sunshine flowers, the stamens are beautiful. You get the different coloured berries coming through as well, and the bees and stuff.
Yeah,
they absolutely adore this plant.
In fact, seeing as the days are beginning to get a bit longer, promise you, few extra minutes every single day. But let's take you back to summertime so you can get an idea of what your Hypericum is going to look like this summer 2025.
Hey, Stu and Adam. I hope you're having a lovely time in the potting shed without me. I've just come out onto the nursery floor here because I'm looking. It's a gorgeous day, first of all, and I wanted to have a look at the Hypericum, the miracle attraction. For all you regulars watching, you know how much I adore this plant. It's definitely in my top 20 list all-time ever of plants that you should have in your garden. And the wonderful thing is that everything good about this plant is happening right now. Look at those flowers, look at those buds, look at the colours that you've got on here. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And the thing is, it looks like this for months on end. It starts in around sort of June time and it just keeps going through the summer and all the way into autumn as well. It's a great transitional plant, taking you through, I know we don't want to think about it, but when all the flowers are starting to fade in summer, this one is still looking absolutely fantastic. And of course, it's super easy as well. It's winter hardy and requires very little attention from you. I just think it's beautiful. I'm definitely going to, in my next garden, get one of these and plant it. I hope you are too.
Very excited about 2025. I know you're planning maybe a move, so you're going to be YouGarden.
Might happen. And I did say at the end of that clip that my next garden, that will be in it. I 100% can say, yes, when I do move, that will go into the next garden. If it's not there already, obviously. We'll see. And
I've decided, I mean, we're definitely not moving, but we are extending the garden.
You're
so.
mental.
No! I like
size of
I'm
that
gonna
is.
I'm gonna do even more in the garden this year.
Good.
And I hope you're feeling the same. I really am. But if you're not, you might be thinking, oh no, I need to make the garden easier.
Yeah.
Whichever direction you're taking your gardening in, we've got the right plants for you. We really have. And the Hypericum, one of the easiest to look after.
Definitely. Very, very simple. Just happily does its thing. Nice and compact as well. It doesn't get huge, this. It gets to about probably, maybe 1 metre by 1 metre, but nice and compact. Loads and loads of interest on there. Quite a long flowering season as well, right the way through the summer, June, July, August, into September. And then, of course, you get that winter interest with these lovely heads that have been left on there as well.
Do you know, I have seen Hypericum do reasonably well in quite shady areas as well.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. It loves a sunny spot, but it can cope with I wouldn't say full shade, but certainly quite a shady spot.
Now, there's quite a few of you joining us on Facebook today.
Good morning.
Morning. Amanda's going to the garden centre, but only for a coffee. That's
it's
fine, Amanda.
Fine, yeah. Well, I love going wandering around the garden centre. I love going to wander. Get a coffee, have a slice of cake.
Ian's watching from East Yorkshire, says it's a bit frosty.
Oh, it was frosty this morning. I had to de-ice the car this morning. And Diana and Angela are both watching on Facebook as well. Thanks for your company.
Yes, thank you for joining Bex and I.
Who's on here then? Ruth, good morning, Ruth. Ruth's joined the chat on YouTube as well, so good morning to you. Happy New Year, everybody. It's a wonderful time of year, isn't it?
We had a very busy 2024. I know quite a few of you watch us live, but it's amazing how many people stream the shows later, and how many of you watch our social media now. So yeah, it's been a really good year, and we think 2025 is going to be even better. Right, we're going to move on now to a Lavatera, but a very special one, because it's called Barnsley Baby, and this is one that Neil's got, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he sent us those lovely pictures. It's in the pots. I think it's at the front of the house, isn't it? It is a beautiful one, because Lavatera traditionally gets really big, doesn't it? It can sprawl a little bit.
I've got a couple of really big ones, and they're lovely, but I've got a big garden, and the thing is, a lot of people would love a Lavatera, but don't have the space. And these have been specially bred to be ultra compact. So
I need to get some of these, actually.
Yeah, I think these would be ideal for your garden.
Well, I love container gardening. I've got some borders and they're beautiful, but I do like container gardening because I can move things around, I can change it over, and I just really, I don't know, it speaks to me. So, and these work perfectly in pots. You can put them into borders if you want to, of course, but because these only get to about 75 metres, couple of feet, 2-3 feet height and spread.
Centimetres, Bex.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. 75 metres.
No, centimetres. You're thinking 75 metres, Bex.
Could you imagine?
Imagine. Yes. Yeah, they're only going to go 75 metres, you'll be fine.
In a pot.
No! What's this massive? Like Jack and the Beanstalk, look.
So yeah, they work in a pot, basically, is what I'm going to say.
And they are just really, I love Lavateras, but the traditional varieties do get big, they're a little bit sprawly. Yeah. These have been bred to be ultra neat and compact.
And they flower for quite a while as well. So right in summer, July, about July time, right the way through into September and October. And what I love about Lavatera is actually how they sort of open in succession, don't they? So they start at the bottom and then they work their way up, opening the flowers. So every day you go out and there's something new to look at on the plant.
They always flower on the new growth, by the way, so do bear that in mind. You can chop them right back if they get a little bit straggly, a little bit leggy, but they always flower on the new growth. And they do love a sunny spot. Yes,
and they are very, very, very wildlife friendly. They love them.
And very, very, very winter hardy too. So they're great.
Great price on there as well.
Yes, what, $33?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, and don't forget, I'm going to say it again, if you are not a club member...
Do it now.
Do it now.
Please
don't wait till Monday. You'll know why on Monday. But, when Shaun and Bex said I should have joined the club.
I should have joined.
Yeah. So if you're not a member, join today. It's £5 on auto renewal. And that means if you join today, that £5 is for life. Right, who's asking for the email address?
Bill.
Hello, Bill.
Good morning, Bill.
Morning.
You might be the first email of the year. We haven't got an email come in yet. So who's going to be first?
Yeah.
Send us your pictures. Go on, let us see your gardens. I know, I'm so nosy. I love looking at people's gardens.
And Ian on Facebook is tempted by the Solia, the Australian bluebell.
Oh, yeah,
yeah, I'm tempted with that one as well. A little bit different. Right, we've still got loads coming up. We've got a strawberry tree.
Doesn't grow strawberries.
No.
But it does grow beautiful, kind of ornamental. It's pretty.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm really tempted with it, but I've never tried the fruit. They are edible, but they're better for preserves, aren't they?
Yeah.
But that is coming up. We have got lots of bare roots, because it's bare root season. And anything that you want to see, I want to know more about, again, just email us, ygtv@yougarden.com. Right, let's remind you. So this is one that Ian's tempted with. It's called the Solia heterophylla. It's known as the Australian bluebell. These actually do originate from Australia, and they're climbers. So really quite unusual. Now, they may need a bit of protection in the winter. We say, hardly down to low minus temperatures, so just bear that in mind. Flowers sort of end of summer. They also produce these really weird kind of like sausage-shaped fruits as well, but just something a little bit different. It doesn't go too big, so in this country it's going to go to about 1.5 meters. Loves a sunny, sheltered spot, so do bear that in mind. Lots of sun, nice and sheltered. 510 972. Then, now I did have quite a few of these over Christmas and New Year, G&Ts, but this is a plant it's got the nickname, the gin and tonic plant. It's beautiful. So the foliage smells citrusy. It's like, I say citrusy, it's like full of botanical smells. It's beautiful. Then the flowers, equally fragrant, and they're star-shaped. Evergreen, quite compact, growing to go to about 2 by 2 meters eventually, and will flower sort of March time, March, April. And it's 510 986. But that is all about fragrance. If you love things like choices, I can imagine that near a choicer potentially. 510 986. Now we have got an absolute steal when it comes to our Fatsia japonica, our castor oil plant. These are really big at the moment. I'll be honest, they've kind of outgrown their pots. So the size that you're getting should probably be in a 3-litre pot. So you're just getting an absolutely amazing deal on these. And although we do stock this throughout the year, the ones on the nursery right now are particularly big at this price. And that is the absolute truth. So if you want one, get one of our current stock now, and it's 510 428. They do flower, and they normally flower sort of like November, December time. They get these weird sort of flowers, like these almost like globes. They are evergreen, they are winter hardy. If it's really cold, they droop a bit. So if it's like frosty, snowy, they'll droop, they'll get frozen, but they bounce straight back. And they are brilliant in shade as well as sun. And I always think they look really good in the corner of a garden. 510 428 for the Fatsia japonica castor oil plant. Now we've also got, I am tempted, well, I'm not tempted, I'm just going to buy it. I want this one. I meant to buy it last year. It's the viburnum opulus, award-winning, known as a snowball tree. And yes, it is a viburnum. So it is deciduous, it will flower in the summertime, but it produces, I think, far more exciting flowers compared to traditional viburnums. They're like these big, snowballs. So it's a little bit, I think it looks a little bit like the incredible hydrangea that we sell, but really lovely white big globe snowball flowers on that one. 510 895. Loves a sunny spot, that viburnum. Now, in terms of low maintenance plants, easy peasy plants that give all year round interest, that are low maintenance, that are not demanding, Nandinas are spectacular. We've got quite a few different varieties. I know recently we've had the Firepower, we've had Nandina Obsessed. This one is known as Gulfstream. So you get really lovely colour on the new foliage. Again, when it's a little bit more mature, you get the flowers followed by the berries, but it always looks good. So it never ever loses all of its leaves, it never looks sad, it continuously gives you excitement and colour and variety all year round. This one grows a little bit bigger than some of the others, about 1.5 metres in terms of height, 511 560. That is the best price we've ever done at £7.49. Now, another beautiful, beautiful plant is the Hypericum, known as St. George's wort, the miracle attraction. So this one, when it flowers, sort of like summertime into autumn, you get beautiful flowers with these big, bold stamens. You get the adorable berries that are different shades of colour, so you get like the reds and the oranges and the yellows. Brilliant for your pollinators, of course, as well, but a stunning, stunning plant. And again, it doesn't grow too big, so about 1 metre in terms of height. 510 890. We say sunny position, but it actually does pretty good in part shade as well. I have seen these grown, fairly shady areas and still do remarkably well. Now, we've also got an absolutely brilliant deal on our lavender at 510 319. Again, one of the best for pollinators, and that is only £2.99. And then if you always wanted a Lavatera, but you've just not had the room, then we have got what we know as a patio Lavatera, Barnsley baby. So been bred to only grow to about 75 centimetres in terms of size. Flowers, so like summer into late summer and early autumn. Always flowers on the New Year's growth, so don't ever feel scared of chopping it back a bit in springtime. And it's just, I love Lavateras. I love the way that they flower. I love the way the flowers come out one by one up the stems. And another one that's great for your pollinators as well. 510 339 for the Lavatera Mallow Barnsley baby. Now, we love it when you say hello. And we've had some emails!
Hooray, Bill! Bill, you got him first. Well done. Thank you so much. Bill sent us a picture. First snowdrop spotted up in, apologies, Kirrimure Angus. I don't know if I pronounced that right. But here it is. The snowdrops just starting to poke up through the ground. I'm going to have to go out and check if mine are popping up now. Now that you've sent that, I'll head into my garden this afternoon and see if I can find them. But yeah, that's looking beautiful. Is that in your garden, Bill, or is that out somewhere on a walk?
Do you know what? I don't care where it is. I'm just happy to see.
There's loads of shoots there, isn't there?
Yay! Now that is good.
I love it.
Yes. So I know sometimes January is a bit of a bleak time, but you know what? Spring is around the corner.
It's
First
coming.
snowdrops coming out. Crocus are going to be next month. Then your daffodils.
So
loads to look forward to, isn't there?
Neil has sent us the picture of his Barnsley baby. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Sean
Neil.
was just talking about the Barnsley baby. So this was obviously back in the summertime, but that. It wasn't yesterday. That is looking absolutely beautiful, isn't it? And that's the kind of thing that you can get with that beautiful Barnsley baby that we've got. I'm intrigued. 3 of them we're selling you today.
What did Neil have growing around that? Are they just some? I don't know what they are. See that phone Bex? Are they just bulbs that have gone over?
Maybe. Neil, let us know.
Yeah.
Did you have some bulbs in those pots as well?
I just can't think what's to be there
as well. Let us know, Neil. What else have you got in those pots?
Yeah. Sorry, just so nosy, Neil, aren't
But just if you were interested in seeing what Barnsley baby can look like, because we've got those 3 pots in the deal today, then thank you for that, Neil.
Was it the Goya in the background? The Siskiyou?
Oh, it might be Siskiyou. That could be, couldn't it? It could be the Gora.
Yeah.
And finally, Dingo. Thank
Hello,
you
Dingo.
so much. He says,
How's
happy New Year, gang. Just a couple of pics of the front garden. Looks tatty, but won't take long for it to come alive. Really hard frost last night, but now sunny here in Poole. Cheers, Dingo. But you can see how much life there is there.
I think that looks really good.
I do as well. Look, this is what winter gardens look like, and I love it.
I tell you, all the ferns don't look amazing.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? And let me show you the other picture, because I'll tell you what's in the other picture.
Do you know,
There's no turtles,
New Year's Eve I walked through my garden during the day. I had about half an hour out there and it was wonderful, it really was.
I love it. Look at all those pink pots and the green ones as well. What were they called, Stu? I can never remember the names of them.
Bellagio?
Prisma pots, that was it, prismas.
What was the Bellagios then? So completely different, weren't they?
But look, the oleanders looking amazing. I think he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 oleanders in there. Looking absolutely beautiful.
For the time of year.
Even at this time of year. Yeah, it's looking really good. Can't wait to see what that's going to look like. I know. Thank you so much, everybody, for your pictures.
Hopefully you're feeling as inspired as we are.
I do. I love this New Year feeling.
I do.
There's something fantastic, isn't there? You look back, you reassess, and then you're so ready for the year coming. And I genuinely feel like that this morning.
Yesterday, I'll be honest, I felt a bit broken. I didn't get back to bed till 4 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Day. And then today I woke up full of life. Yeah. I just rested yesterday.
And my son's really mad at me because we wouldn't let him stay up. So we stayed up, we did the midnight, and then I was like, right, bedtime now. You know, it's nearly 1 o'clock, and he did not want to go to bed. And he's still mad at me now.
Well, you tell your son from me, getting to bed early is a good thing.
I know, I keep trying to tell him.
Now, it's also a great time of the year to plant your bare roots. And if you've never planted bare roots before, don't be scared, because we're going to give you lots of tips and advice. So we've got lots of bare roots coming up. A bit more on the chat about.
Yes, so Olwen has joined us. Good morning, Olwen. She's saying, morning, everyone. Happy New Year to you all. Ruth is obviously saying Happy New Year to Olwen. And then Bill says the snowdrops were round the corner, and I did pronounce Kirramure correctly.
Well done. I just kind of nodded and like, yeah, that sounds right.
That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, just keep chatting and I say a massive thank you. You know, we do appreciate every single one of you watching and joining. It's.
If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here. So we are very, very grateful for that. So thank you.
And when we started this, I mean, YouGarden have been established for best part of 2 decades now, and it's a big catalogue business and mail order business. But the other things that we've been doing, like the TV side of things, relatively new. We didn't know how it was going to go, but it was great. We had a fantastic 2024.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, really good.
So we get to keep our jobs.
Hey, that's even better.
Yeah, because we love our jobs, don't we?
We do indeed. So,
but it's all thanks to you. You know, without you, we wouldn't be here. So we really do appreciate it. Having said that, you do get amazing prices on YGTV.
Absolutely, you do. And we're going to bring you some of the amazing prices on the bare roots that we've got for you. Starting off with Patty's Plum. We've got this when it comes to poppies, I just think is one of the most beautiful, isn't it? I feel like it's got a real sort of antique quality to it because of the colour. It looks like lovely sort of antique taffeta or silk or something, you know, that beautiful.
It is.
Purpley,
it's like a satiny, silky. Oh,
I love it.
It's ruffled, isn't it, as well?
Absolutely gorgeous. It really is. It's glamorous. It's flamboyant. It's got that distinctive, what looks like a black centre, but actually when you look in the centre, it's really quite unusual. And that picture, that is my dream garden right there. That's what I want my garden to look like.
That was my garden last year.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I do want your garden, Shaun.
Hey, I don't have this popping.
I aspire to your garden.
But I don't have this popping. I don't know why. Because I mean, I look at that picture, and you're right. That is the perfect kind of country cottage scene.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they do grow quite tall. So you know, those flowers can be 60, 70 centimetres. So when you see them, they look great on mass. They are dramatic, aren't they?
Really dramatic and really easy. This is what I like about poppies, because you plant them and you kind of leave them to do their thing. If you chop them back after flowering, you can occasionally get a second reflowering, smaller, but a second reflowering from them. They die down in the winter time, and then they just reliably come back for you.
And I know we actually planted poppies in my mum's garden, because my mum's got a lovely kind of quintessential English country cottage garden. First year she did get a couple of poppies. Second year she got at least a dozen. Then last year, I mean, I reckon she got 30 poppies.
Yeah.
And they looked absolutely amazing. We did just what Beck said. Straight after flying, chopped everything right back to the ground, and we did get a second flourish in the autumn time as well. But this is one of the most beautiful poppies, and you're getting 3 bare roots.
So they come to you in the bag. You do need to do something with them relatively soon. This is the thing with bare roots, because they are slightly moist inside that bag, and you don't want them to dry out. So they do need planting. If you're worried about planting them out, you know, in the ground, the rules are, as long as it's not completely frosty or completely waterlogged, you can plant. We are in bare root season. You can plant these out. But if you are worried, plant them in a pot.
Yeah.
Grow them on in
Start
a pot.
them off in pots.
Start them off. Once you see some growth starting to come through, you know, in the springtime, you can then plant them into your chosen location. But they're tough, they're hardy, reliable, robust, winter hardy. Pollinators love them. Really simple, easy, but glamorous gardening with the Patty's plum.
And the thing is, you know, you could buy the Patty's plum in peak season, and you could easily spend more than £9.99 for one. So it's just an affordable way of getting a bit more in your garden, and it's so easy, really. And all of our plants come with full instruction on the packets, but also our website is brilliant in terms of product information. So if you're ever not sure, you know, go onto our website, and you'll get so much extra information in terms of how to plant, how to look after your plants. Also, Bex and I I've been doing a lot more online videos over the past year as well. So I think about 80% of our top-selling plants have got a little video to go with them, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll constantly keep updating. We'll add new ones where we need to. You know, we'll update any old ones as we need to as well. So it's a really good place to get extra info. As we start to look old.
Yeah, no, I watched it. Funny enough, I watched a video back of me from last year. No, I don't think we've changed that much. Perhaps. No. I think I've put on a few pounds in the last year. Maybe.
No. Yeah, sorry, I didn't say that quick enough today.
I have.
No, you're the Peter Pan. We've always called you this.
But you know what? It's just a bit of winter padding, that's all.
Exactly, it's to keep us warm.
Now we're going to move on to some more berries, and this is the Geranium Potentilla collection. You actually get 6 here, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is one of the most popular sort of bare root collections that we bring you. You love this one. And I think this goes hand in hand with one of our top pieces of advice, isn't it? When it comes to your summer garden, you cannot go wrong with a hardy geranium. Geraniums are so ridiculously easy, but give you the long flowering season. They bring all the pollinators into the garden. They fill gaps in borders. They stop the weeds growing through. This is just the best thing that you can plant in your garden.
And one of my
certainly one of them.
Plans for 2025 is to have more hardy geraniums, because last year,
I agree.
And, you know, you might have found last year a bit challenging, and maybe there's certain things that you're thinking, no, I don't want to grow that again. It was too difficult. Geraniums, no matter what the summer throws at us, they are true survivors. There were certain plants last year that just did exceptionally well, and geraniums were one of them, but they always do well. And with potentillas in there as well, the colour mix on this one is just spectacular.
Yeah, it does provide you that beautiful colour mix with the 2 flowers in there, because you just get, it's called festival mix for a reason, and it's because it is a festival of colour. And
I was in London. You know, we also do shows on QVC, and I don't know if you spotted it, because Bex and I were both there a little bit over Christmas.
Yeah.
And on the 29th of December in Chiswick Park, where QVC are based, I was walking down towards the entrance, and there was a hardy geranium still in flower.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, next time you're there. Oh, you're there tomorrow?
I'm there tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Have a look on the way down on the left.
Yeah.
You know, the side entrance. Bit. Yeah, there's a hardy geranium in flower.
And
I was like,
I'll take a picture.
How amazing that on the 29th of December, that hardy geranium is still flowering.
Yeah.
They are incredible. They say this, we said they flower from kind of like May through to October, November until the first frost, but because it was quite sheltered and it was in the shade.
Yeah, and do you know what? So they will happily be in a full sun position, but actually what I've found with my hardy geraniums is they certainly in my garden, they've preferred the part shady position. They need some sun, but actually the part shady position, they have performed better than the border where it gets the full sun.
Yeah, so they are brilliant, and again, £9.99 for 6, that's working out. My maths doesn't seem quite as good this year. 166.
That'll be that late night you actually.
No, I mean, come on.
Probably early morning.
I went to bed at 10:30 last night. I was like, So it was one of those days I just spent all day recovering from New Year. I went to bed at 10:30 and I woke up very bright and breezy this morning, thankfully. But yeah, working at 166 a bare root there, 580039. Now, one of the we've had some amazing peonies over the past year or so, but the coral sunset is one of the most spectacular.
Yeah, and it's just that name, isn't it? The coral sunset, and obviously, you know, the colours that you get within this flower are reminiscent of those lovely sunset colours. Exactly the same as the Patty's plum or the geraniums. It's a bare root, so you're getting the best value for money. You need to get it planted as soon as possible and then just wait and enjoy those beautiful flowers.
But I think you'll agree, peonies are one of the most spectacular flowers ever. A lot of florists use them in their top-end displays as well. Now, something a bit weird and wonderful for you now. And I remember seeing this when I used to present the shows with the lovely Angela. I remember seeing this a few years ago. I've been quite fascinated. And it's known as, the kind of popular name is a strawberry tree. But it's not quite strawberries, is it, Bex?
No, it's not quite strawberries at all. First of all, it is an evergreen plant,
yes,
so that's brilliant. You can see how amazing the foliage is on here. But it produces these wonderful sort of strawberry-like fruits that you get on here, which is what makes this really, really interesting. They do look like a strawberry, don't they?
They do. Now, they are edible, but we're just going to be honest, they are a little bit tart, aren't they?
Yeah, they can be a bit tart, so they're probably best left for, like, preserves and things like that.
Or just for ornamental
just being
fruits.
An ornamental fruit, absolutely. Amazing price on here as well, by the way. Good £10 saving off that one at $14.99. Yeah, for a plant that is as well established as this one is.
See, I just think I would put that. I've got like a tropical area in my garden, and I think that could look really good with your tropical plants.
I think it could, because it's a little bit weird and wonderful. Yeah, a little bit unusual. It actually grows well pretty much anywhere. Suits coastal locations as well. Gets a nice sort of steady growth on here. Forms quite a nice sort of neat bush. Can get very big. Can get several metres high, several metres spread if you want it to as well. Now the fruits, they're gonna ripen for you, and they're gonna come from the previous year's flowers. So do just bear that in mind with your pruning and things like that. But it does have that RHS badge, which says it's perfect for pollinators. So this is really a wonderful thing for pollinators, and it is classed as winter hardy, down to about -10.
And I'm right in saying it flowers autumn time?
Correct, yes.
That's why, so you get the fruits the following year?
Exactly, yes.
Right.
I know, right?
Tempted. See, that's what I love about working at YouGarden. And, you know, we'd love to say we know about every single plant on the universe, but that would be impossible.
It would be impossible. I mean, we do want to try and grow a bit of everything, don't we? But, I mean, it's impossible.
But it's always nice to discover new things or unusual things, and that's something that neither of us have ever grown. So I remember seeing it a couple of years ago, but I just really like the sound of that. And I'm very tempted. I want to see what those fruits look like. I want to imagine what it's going to be like in my garden.
And the foliage is nice and interesting as well. It looks like bay leaves, but they've got this lovely serration just around the edge as well. Not sharp, not so that it hurts or anything.
I think it's a very nice, healthy-looking plant, isn't it?
Definitely.
You look at those leaves there. And you're going to bear in mind, it's January right now, and that's how good that looks. Now, something that I have grown, and I've got many of in my garden.
Yeah, me too.
The Photinia.
I love a Photinia.
But this one, I do too.
Yeah.
I think Photinias they're hard-working. I've got quite an exposed garden. It's quite windy. They do fine there. I've got mine in different areas. I've got some in sun, parts sun. But this is a compact one. It's a tiny one. It's a little red robin.
Yeah, so we'll get to about a metre and a half. Probably
that's
a good metre and a half. But that is small for a Photinia. So again, if you've got like smaller gardens, or you don't want something that's going to take over and bully some other plants, then this is a great option for you with Photinia. What I love about Photinia actually is that when we get to sort of early spring or into springtime, just before everything else starts to burst into life, this is what I was looking at last year with my Photinia. This one, the bright red new growth that you get on here is incredible. And it is a real focal point just before everything else starts to burst into life. And that's what I really enjoy about this. But then, of course, it does actually hold its leaves. You know, it's evergreen. It keeps its leaves all year round. But what I really enjoyed was the flowers that you get on here,
Yeah,
and they're fragrant.
We do forget that petunias do have those lovely little white flowers.
And the fragrance, which I'd never really noticed before, but I really had a good sniff of it last year. And it's a beautiful scent you get from them.
But they're incredibly reliable. They are evergreen, so the new growth has these fabulous colours. There's the flowers that Bex was talking about as well. They're just a really, really great all-rounder. But if you're thinking, I mean, my in-laws, they've got a whole hedge of Photinia, and it must be 3 metres high, 4 metres. This is a tiny variety. When I say tiny, relatively speaking, so only about a metre and a half, known as Little Red Robin. So I know a lot of you that watch have got maybe smaller gardens. A lot of you love to do container planting. That one is brilliant in a container as well. And I always think that if you've got something like a Little Red Robin, have it in a pot, but you can always change it seasonally. So in summertime, you might have your summer bedding around it. In wintertime, imagine some hellebores around that now.
Yeah.
That'd look lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the lovely white of the hellebore and the green and the bronze colours of the foliage that you get.
Also,
yeah, beautiful.
Bulbs, maybe maybe you've still got a few bulbs to plant. If you have, just get them in.
Well, I've got my snowdrops that grow up around the base of the Photinia that I've got. I haven't got the Little Red Robin, I've got the big Photinia, but I've got the snowdrops that grow up around the base of there because obviously they work in the shady spots. That white against the foliage is really pretty.
Really nice. Nice on that one. Now we've just got to urgently go back to our deal of the week, which is
everyone's loving it.
Now I know some of you may be, having a dry January, but you can still treat yourself to a G&T.
Absolutely.
If you go for this one, because it is called the gin and tonic plan, and I think there's so many reasons, but it is to do with the fragrance. When you take off the leaves, they are quite citrusy but botanical, if that makes sense.
Totally, yeah. It's kind of. I don't know.
It
smells fizzy.
Do you know what it smells of to me? A gin with a fever tree tonic.
Yes. It's it's beautiful, honestly. So Craig was in, Craig helps us set up the shows, but he was in just tidying it up and giving it a little trim. And honestly, the scent that was coming up from it was incredible. The flowers are fragrant as well, and you can see how many buds. Look at all of those buds that are on there. There's hundreds on this small plant right now. I say small, it's it's a good size, it's well established. But this is going to get to, what did we say, about 1.5 meters?
Yeah.
Maybe even 2 meters.
Yeah.
Height and spread on here. And if there's so many buds on a plant that's the size it is now, imagine how many will be on a plant full size. And it's a spring flowering, evergreen, hardy, reliable shrub. This one's I don't know why I haven't got this one. This one's amazing. It's
and I'm
really
just thinking, I've got a sunny border that's got a choicia there. And if I had this further along, I mean, the fragrance, as you move from the choicia to the gin and tonic plant, I think they could be really great companion plants there.
Yeah, I like it.
And just quickly, by the way, your offer code today is YGTV0125. You always have to use that code to get all of the promotions, all of the savings, and you get your free gift today, which is the Blooming Fast, and that will make 100 litres of our premium plant food, really high in your NPK, lots of trace elements and minerals in there, not elements.
Just making up new words now, aren't
Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, full of your trace elements and minerals. That sounded a bit like I did on New Year's Eve there. Love you.
I love that point in the evening.
Yeah.
Oh, but I love you.
I went really emotional.
I love you.
I was really emotional Christmas Eve. I just loved everything. Oh, your friendship means so much. Anyway. But I do love gardening, and so does Bex.
Yes,
and,
we do.
We know you love gardening. And I'll tell you what, one of my New Year's resolutions is to do a bit more grow your own. And I always think we grow your own. There's always that, haven't got the space, haven't got the time. But what we do on YouGarden, we make a lot of grow your own really, really easy. And this potato kit makes growing potatoes an absolute doddle, because you get your 3 heavy duty pots, you get 3 varieties of potato seeds or tubers I should say, and you even get your fertiliser as well. So all you need is some of our premium special compost.
Yeah, and you're good.
And Bob's your uncle.
He is as well. 2 of them.
Have you got Uncle Bob?
I've got 2.
I've got Uncle Bob too. Yeah. Now you grew these. Was it the year before last?
Yeah, year before last. So I did this when we did the kit that comes with the bags, the grow bags. But these come with the grow pots, which is just as good. In fact, maybe even a little bit better.
Yeah. I think,
it's up to you. It's choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are brilliant for growing, and I thoroughly enjoyed growing the seed potatoes and growing the mid potatoes. My kids, or certainly one of them, absolutely thoroughly enjoyed the process, really loved doing it, and it couldn't be easier, honestly. What you do is, so you're getting 3 different varieties. We'll talk you through those in a second. But what you do is you take those and you're going to chit your potatoes. So I did it by using old egg cartons.
Yes.
Stand them on end in the egg carton. You wait about anywhere between 4 and 6 weeks, and then you start getting loads of shoots.
And do have the egg carton open. It's like the tray that you need to use.
Yes. Good point. You
start
getting loads of shoots coming off them, and that's when you're ready to plant them. They do need protection from frost, so just bear this in mind when you're going to plant them out. Obviously, if you can keep them under cover, that's great. And then it's really simple, isn't it? You put a little bit of compost in the bottom, just a couple of inches.
Yep.
And then you carefully, without knocking any of the side shoots off, you're carefully going to put your seed potatoes into the bottom of the pot.
And you get 3 varieties, so you put 6 seed potatoes in each one of the 3 pots.
That's it.
Then you cover with compost.
Yeah, and this is the weird bit. So you're going to let some green growth come through, and then you bury it, which sounds completely insane. It goes against all of your natural instincts, but that's exactly what you do. You bury the green growth. Water each time. And
put on your fertiliser each time when you water.
Exactly, yes. Let it grow a little bit more, bury it, water, fertiliser. Let it grow a bit more, bury it, water it, fertiliser, until you get to the top of the pot, and then you've got all that lovely growth going on there. And then, I mean, your early potatoes, they'll be about 10 weeks after planting, so anywhere between 10 and 16 weeks after planting, you'll be ready to harvest your potatoes.
And we've actually got 3 varieties to give you an extended season. So the first that's going to give you potatoes is going to be the Rocket.
Yeah, Rocket. So this is one of your...
I've not grown the Rocket one.
No, me neither. It's one of your early harvest ones, but it's like a new potato, basically. It's like a little baby potato.
In fact, Bex, look, I did.
Oh, you took some out, didn't you? Yes, well done.
I don't know why I'm doing this. I feel like...
Makes you want to do it with that little Kerry thing.
I feel like Little Red Robin. But that's the Rocket that you've got there.
Yes, and you get a Charlotte potato included as well, which you can tell because it's that lovely elongated one that you get there.
That one with that lovely kind of waxy yellow skin.
Yeah, it's like your salad potato.
Come on, that's the best taste, isn't it?
That's lovely. I like a potato salad with chives or spring onions and some mayo in there, or just hot dripping with butter. And then you get the Desiree potato in there as well, which is the kind of red-skinned one. So these are your all-rounder. I always use these for roasts, for mash, for chips. You can use these for as well. They're brilliant. You're going to get all 3 varieties included with the pots, with the fertiliser. All you need to do is add an order of compost. The pots are 30 litres each, so 1 order of compost will be enough for all 3 of those.
And if you decide next year not to grow potatoes, I'm sure you will, because they're so easy and they taste delicious. But remember, you can use these pots again and again for growing raspberries, tomatoes, just doing your weeding, your everyday gardening jobs. They are brilliant. Now, you might already have your heavy-duty pots.
Yeah, so if you just want the seed potatoes, we've got those 3 varieties available for you on their own for £9.97.
That's good, isn't it?
Item number 350067. You might already have, your pots or your bags or whatever from previous years, so you might just be looking for the seed potatoes.
We did do the promotion that week where we actually gave away a free grow bag. Do you remember?
Correct, yes. You could use those for the green bags. That's what I grew my potatoes in when I did this. It was in those green grow bags.
That is it's so nice to have the option, isn't it?
Yeah,
now, the only thing you are going to need, whichever option you go for, you are going to need some of our premium facial compost.
Yeah.
And one thing we do know, with anything that you're growing, you do need to use the best compost possible. And some of my friends say, "Oh, I'll reuse that compost," and sometimes you can reuse compost.
I've reused it for some bulbs. They don't necessarily need fresh compost every time. But when you're growing your potatoes, you need fresh compost.
They're going to be hungry. To get the biggest crops and yields, you really do need to use our premium facial compost. Now, you are getting 2 50-litre bags for £27.98, and as we were saying, those heavy-duty pots are 30 litres each, so 2 50-litre bags of this would be absolutely perfect. You have a little bit left over.
If you're going to grow in the green grow bags, I think those are 40 litres each, aren't they? 45.
Yeah, 45.
So you might need to get 2 orders of the compost if you're going for the green bags, if you're growing in the green bags, just to be aware.
Do you know, and I really mean this, our compost, and this is the truth. So we've used our compost for many, many years, but only, for some reason, the containers in the pub garden I look after did not have our compost in. They had a mixture, they had a bit of this compost.
Right.
But they'd been there years. And I actually took out all the old compost and replaced it with our premium professional compost. And the plants have done the best they've ever done.
We say it all the time, don't we?
And we've always, I've always used it in my own home garden. Bex and I have used this for many years, but honestly, the difference it makes to all plants is incredible.
It really is.
And it is a compost. If you're new to YouGarden, it's the one that we actually use on the nursery. So anything that we grow, we grow say about 150,000 bare root roses. We grew several thousand hydrangeas from bare roots last year. Anything that we plant on, so we might take something in a 1 litre pot, pot it up to a 2 litre, 3 litre, all done in this compost. And all of our ready-made hanging baskets last year, all grown in this compost.
Yeah, and the reason we highlight that is obviously our business is to grow and sell plants. Yeah. And so for a business whose business it is to grow plants, to say that they use this compost, that really is an important part to get across to you. Because we're not going to grow stuff in inferior, poor quality compost, because that would go against us being able to be a successful business. So it's really important to understand that. But it's also our personal compost of choice. This is the one we use in our gardens because we see the difference. And you do as well.
If you're just buying compost today, you've got postage included and you get your free gift of Blooming Fast worth nearly £5 as well.
Yeah.
But why is it so good? Well, we'll quickly run you through, because I know a lot of you know this compost. Most of you will only use this compost, but you have got 50% composted wood fibre. And that, when you actually open at the back, the consistency, the fibrous texture of this compost is incredible. And it's so even, isn't it? I mean, you can see here.
It's the first thing you notice when you open the bag, isn't it? It's that texture, how open and loose it is. And that is so important for root growth.
And it's you never open a bag and find it's too heavy or too light. No. It is that perfect fibrous nature. But that is only one of the ingredients.
Yeah, so we've also got, there is peat in this compost, minimal amounts of peat. I know we would need to move, we're trying to move to peat free, but it is a good thing that we've got this in here. We've used the minimal amount, but still get those maximum results. Some of it is renewable. Sphagnum moss peat is renewable, so that's a good thing, but we've also got the dark and the white peats in there as well. So our plants are still getting that goodness that they need from that.
Sorry, Stu just said that Julia asked for some compost for Christmas. Everyone thought she was mad. No! Do you know what?
I'd be very happy with compost for Christmas, thank you.
Do you know what I don't want at Christmas is loads of rubbish that I'm not going to use.
True. I like, yeah.
Stu brought me the funniest plant pot. I can't actually tell you what it was because it's a bit rude.
It's a bit rude.
It did make me laugh. It really did.
Maybe you can post it on social at some point. Yeah, but mine wasn't funny like that.
It was just lovely.
What was mine?
It was lovely. It's really decorative.
What did it say? It said something on it though, didn't it? Oh, I can't remember what it said
Bex made me smile, but Stu's made me laugh out loud because it was rude. Anyway, we digress. So, composted wood fibre, different types of peat. Some of those are renewable, like the sphagnum moss peat.
I'm handsome and I grow it.
That was it. That was it. It did make me smile.
I'm handsome and I grow it.
Yeah. I'm glad you still think I'm handsome. Right. Maybe you don't. Right, compost.
Sorry.
You've also got a slow release fertiliser in there.
Yeah, the little green balls that you'll see within the compost, those are the slow release fertiliser, so it'll just release those. The little shells will break down, releasing that feed into there, feeding your plants as and when they need it, not when you remember to do it, but of course you do get your free gift as long as you enter that code right there.
Now there's also in here a wetting agent, and that you might think, oh, what's that and why do I need it? But it's basically, if the compost ever dries out, when you water it, the water and the compost stick together brilliantly. So none of that kind of watering a hannah basket and all of the water coming over the side. That feature is really important in summer, but we've had some really windy days as well, and it's amazing how a wind can dry out pots and containers within a few hours. So it's really important that allows the compost to be rehydrated in record time. And
it's pH balanced, which means that it's the pH levels of this compost are in just the right place for this to work for pretty much nearly everything that you plant in your garden. Exceptions are the ones that like the really ericaceous compost, so like rhododendrons, azaleas, blueberries, those sorts of things. Everything else is pretty much going to be the happiest it's ever been planted in this compost.
Yeah, so it's just such a massive winner, and if you are putting an order together today, quite often, if you put your compost in your order, it gets your total order to over £40, then you get free postage on all the other things as well. So do bear that in mind. If you're struggling to get your order to over £40, then add some compost in and that should help you get there.
And my top tip, if you want to place, if you want 300 litres of compost, for example, do it in 3 separate orders because you'll get 3 gifts.
Yeah. And we send them separately anyway, don't we? Yeah. But there's a lot to do. I mean, I know it's only early January, but we do start to think about, our seeds, our plug plants, repotting things, and it's always good to have a nice supply of compost handy.
Definitely.
In your shed or your greenhouse or your garage. 100-125. Let's remind you of some of the great items seen so far on our very first show of 2025. Now, the G&T's been popular.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. So this is known as the gin and tonic plant, and it does have the most incredible botanical smell to it. So evergreen, flowers in early sort of like spring, so like March time. Lovely star-shaped flowers, incredibly fragrant. Grows to about 2 by 2 meters as well. 510-986. Now this is new, this is a bit unusual. This is the Solia heterophylla Australian bluebell. So these are native to Australia. They're climbers. I'll be honest, in Australia they are quite vigorous, but a lot more easygoing in the UK. So they'll grow to about 1.5 meters. They flower late summer into autumn, then they produce these lovely kind of sausage-shaped seed pods. They are hardy, but when we say hardy, they are hardy to about -5 maximum. So what I would do is put it somewhere sunny, and if it is particularly cold, give it a little extra bit of protection. Great in things like a tower pot, 510-972. Then we have got a brilliant deal on our Fatsia japonica. This is the castor oil plant. Wow, honestly, the size of these today are incredible. Fully winter hardy, flowers at the end of the sort of like autumn time, so November, December, and can do very well in sun and shade. It's a very easy one to grow, but it looks very, very exotic. 510-428. Then we've got another wacky, wonderful, weird one. It is a strawberry tree. So this produces fruits that look like strawberries. Now, I will be honest, they don't taste like strawberries. They're a little bit tart, but they are brilliant as ornamental fruit, but you can use them very successfully in preserves as well. Fully evergreen, and it is 510-323 at just $14.99. Now, we've also had on today's first show of 2025 some amazing bare roots, and the first mix is the Geranium Potentilla Festival mix. Absolutely outstanding performers, these. So again, reliable, fully winter hardy. They flower their socks off all summer long. They need very little care and attention, and they're great at filling in gaps. They're great on really giving your garden loads of extra colour with minimal work. They die down during the winter, but they come back every single year, bigger and stronger. 580-039. Now, if you're looking for a spectacular poppy, oh my word, the Papava patis plum is a stunner. It's like crinkle, silk and satin. It's dramatic, it's bold, it's beautiful, and just breathtaking. You know, I think every year we look at putting certain flowers in our garden that are going to turn heads, and this is a head turner. Looks beautiful. That, I mean, to me, that is the perfect garden, isn't it? Absolutely amazing, and you get such height with those as well. They do arrive as a bare root. Plant them as soon as you can. You can start them off in pots. You should get a few poppies this year, but as the years progress, you'll get more and more and more, and they can flower twice as well in a year. So 580-059. And then we've got a beautiful peony. It's known as Cold Sunset. You can see why. These are the perfect sunset colours. Again, it's a buy one, get one free. It arrives as a bare root, and you're going to get the most magnificent peonies in sort of May time on that one, 580-031. Now, if you've always wanted a Photinia, a red robin, we have got one for you right now, but it's a lot more compact. So it's only going to grow to about 1.5 meters. You get all of the lovely, vibrant colours on the new growth. You do get flowers, we sometimes forget, but you get the lovely kind of little white scented flowers followed by the berries as well. But a very, very hard worker, easy plant that's going to give you interest all year round. 501-34, and of course, fully winter hardy. Now, one of my kind of New Year's resolutions is to do more grow your own. And here at YouGarden, we always make that really easy. So this is the full kit. All you need to do is buy some of our compost. So you get 3 types of tubers. You get the rocket, which is the early potato. Then you get Charlotte, which is probably the best known. Well, it is. It's the best known salad potato, lovely waxy yellow skin. And you've got Desiree, which is the red-skinned all-rounder as well. So you get all of the tubers, 18 in total, and the fertiliser, and the brilliant heavy-duty pots to grow them in. And don't forget, those pots can last years. So if you're not growing potatoes next year in them, you can use them for so many different things as well. 350,007. And then finally, we also saw the viburnum, but this is the award-winning Snowball tree, and the flowers on here are just wonderful. I mean, I do love viburnums. We've had some really nice varieties, but it's fair to say this is one of the most striking, one of the most outstanding. The flowers do remind me a little bit of a mophead hydrangea. They're pure white. They're, say, perfectly shaped in these globes. And that one is only $11.99 today. Loves a sunny spot, that one. 510895 is the item number. But a very, very good morning. We're back. Hooray! Stronger than ever, Bex.
Happier than ever as well.
Yes. I mean, you're very strong under there because you've got that T-shirt on, haven't you?
Do you want to see?
Yeah, this is funny.
This is the energy that I am channeling.
Are you ready?
For 2025.
Oh, yeah! See?
Superwoman!
Look at that energy. I knew I was getting extra energy today. I knew it, Bex. I was like, where's all this energy coming from? It was there all the time.
I found it in the drawer this morning and I was like, that is my T-shirt for today, definitely.
But we are genuinely full of energy and excitement for 2025. You know, we've all got plans for our gardens this year, and I think every year it's a new journey, it's a new challenge. We kind of learn from some of our, I'm not going to say mistakes, but some of the things that maybe didn't work well last year, and we think about some of the things that did work well, but also it's a great time to try new things as well. Talking of which, we've got the Clethra pink spire next, something I've never grown.
Yeah, do you know what? This one was new to me as well, actually.
Yeah, we were saying.
Yes. Very excited to have new things to bring you in the potting show, particularly if you're one of the regular viewers who've been with us, you know, for the last nearly 18 months. It's nice to have something new, isn't it?
It's always funny because we get a show plan sent to you from Stu, and then we'll chat, and I'm like, I've never seen that, you know, because you sometimes, I think we all do, you sometimes question your memory, don't you? And you sort of go,
hang on a minute.
Hang on, but no, neither of us had ever brought you this plant before. And actually, when we did a bit of research, it's got so much to offer, hasn't it?
Oh my word, has it got so much to offer. This is the perfect shrub if you want to add in that late summer colour. And what you get from it is some of the most amazing, almost like bottle brush flowers.
So it is
from
a bit
here.
like a calisthenic, is it? In terms of how the flowers come on the kind of like spikes.
Exactly that. But it's got a lovely sweet fragrance to it as well. And, okay, this is actually happy in shady corners.
That's the bit that interested me.
And you would think a plant that looks like this needs to be in a full sun position.
Yeah.
And it can go in a full sun position. Not a problem. But it's actually really tolerant of quite deep shade.
Yeah,
I'm not saying part shade, I'm saying actual shade.
Honestly, that was the bit that stuck out for me. I was like, because I have still got a few difficult shady areas, and yes, I've got my ferns growing there, and I've got my vinca and things like that, but this for me is really, really quite exciting.
It is, definitely. Pollinators adore it, so it's another reason to plant it in your garden. It does prefer acidic soils, so, I mean, I don't think it has to, but I think it prefers acidic soils. So I think if you're planting it into a border and you don't have acidic soil, I'd mix some ericaceous in there or something along those lines. It blooms on new growth, so you don't have to worry too much as far as the pruning is concerned, you know, because it blooms on that new growth.
Yeah, I'm into this. So it's one of those that you can't know everything, and it's one that neither of us had grown. But when we looked at, say, the information surrounding it, we thought there's so many pluses on that one.
Well, for me, this is a real plus because it can actually cope with slightly wetter soils as well. So for somebody who's got heavy clay, which tends to obviously hold on to the moisture, which is why a lot of plants struggle in my garden, this one should do very well.
So you think on this, that really dreadful area that's often a bit on the wet side, that's dark, this is going to thrive.
Yeah, and July, August, that's when you're going to get those incredible sweetly. It's supposed to be like a spicy honey scent that you get from it.
Again,
spicy sweet.
A lot of the other sort of perennials in your garden, a lot of the other things are going over that time sometimes, particularly as you head towards August. That is going to look fantastic. So yeah, and it's a really big size as well. It already arrives in a 3-litre pot, and it is only £9.99.
Yeah, that's a really good size. You'll get a great display off that for the first year, but obviously it's just going to keep getting better, isn't it? And this is going to get to, I mean, 2.5 metres height and spread here, so perfect one to add into a border. And for me, who's got south-west facing garden, great, all the sun's on the house. My borders are actually still quite shady. That's a perfect one.
So, yeah, again, it's brand new today. And it is 510,958, just £9.09. Right. These two have been really, really popular.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Do you know, I was just thinking, actually, the Solia, the Australian bluebell, is actually a really good size as well. I have sold these before, but as a smaller plant in a 9cm pot. This is a 2-litre one.
Yeah, so it's really big already. Yeah. It is a climbing plant, so you can plant this and train it to climb over something. So if you've got a pergola, an archway, up a wall, you know, tie it in, you could be able to train this up a wall. It's half hardy, so it can cope with slightly minus temperatures. We say down to probably about -4, -5. So if you live in the really milder areas of the country and you rarely get to those temperatures, you'll be fine. If you are going to get those colder temperatures, it's going to need a little bit of extra winter protection, or grow it in one of our tower pots, you know, the self-contained climbing pots, because then it's really easy for you to move as and when you need to. But it's evergreen.
I'm just wondering, do you think it survived my conservatory?
Yeah. Well, no, I was just saying, because
that sounded like a maybe.
No, when you take an outdoor plant and bring it indoors, obviously you've got to be careful, because you tend to.
I know
there can be bugs and things.
So
it's doable, but you just have to keep an eye out for those sorts of things. But yeah, absolutely.
I'm just tempted to try it.
Yeah.
Because mine gets a lot of ventilation. In the summer, the doors are always open.
Exactly. So as long as it's got ventilation, that should be okay.
Do you know what? Now I'm going to have it outside, Bex. I am.
Well, if you've got it contained in a pot and you can give it that extra winter protection, then absolutely
fine. And I have got,
I'm
lucky, I've got a greenhouse. If it is particularly cold, I can move it in the greenhouse.
But what I really like about this, so you get the lovely blue, and that colour is beautiful,
it's lovely,
isn't it? It's a really classy colour, that. But actually what I quite like about this is the fact that you get these like fruits that appear on it, like little sausage-shaped fruits.
They are a bit weird and wonderful, aren't they?
Weird and wonderful. They are edible. I don't think they're particularly spectacular when it comes to flavour, but they're a bit like likened to a blueberry, basically.
I mean, again,
it's interesting, isn't it?
I want to try it. Yeah. Never grown it, so they are native to Australia, but can grow very, very successfully in the UK. And I like the fact that it's already a big established plant, so it's all arriving a 2-litre pot. I'd say that's about 80-90 centimetres tall. And I like the fact that it flowers late on as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, talking like sort of early autumn time, and a lot of other climbers have done their thing, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know, so by that time, you know, your wisteria's gone over, a lot of clematis.
Well, this is the thing about it being evergreen as well, because there are a few evergreen climbers, and in fact, we brought a couple to you. But a lot of the climbers that we have, you know, do tend to be deciduous. Well, you've got one that's going to keep going.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited about that one. Yeah. And it's 510,972. It's a Solia heterophilia Australian bluebell. And then don't forget, we've also got the brand new gin and tonic plant, which is the deal of the week. And this is all about fragrance. I mean, the leaves alone, they do smell like, to me, a gin with a fever tree tonic, when you've got all the botanicals kind of just coming out beautifully. The aromas are incredible. You get star-shaped flowers as well. Flowers early, so it's like March, April time, fully evergreen, and is only £7.99. But it is one of the most beautiful, fragrant plants that you could ever experience. And it is our deal of the week at just £7.99 or £7.19 if you are a club member. 510,986. By the way, can we just say Happy New Year if you've just joined us. Great to be back. We've got such an exciting 2025 ahead. If you're not a club member, I'm going to say it, you need to join before Monday. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, please. Yep. You'll thank us.
You will. Next Thursday, you'll be like, I should have joined. And what I'm going to say is, join on auto renewal today,
yep.
and then you've locked in a £5 membership for life. So that basically £5 a year will give you 10% discount on all your plants, lots of other savings. But if you join today, you're locked in that £5 membership for the rest of your life, and it auto renews every 12 months. But you can, of course, cancel should you wish.
What's going in your basket, Elaine and Alwyn? What are they talking about, Stu? What are they putting in? Oh, the pink spire would be great for me, as I've been looking for a shrub to plant that flowers September, as it would have been our 50th wedding anniversary. That's beautiful, Alwyn. So that's a really nice idea.
And what's Elaine buying?
Same.
Oh, same.
Going for the pink spire. It's the new stuff, you see.
Yeah.
They like it.
I'm going to go for that as well, because I think there's just so many reasons to go for that, isn't there?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I love planting things for, you know, in memory and commemorating and anniversaries. And I think, Elaine, you're somebody who plants for, was it you that was planting for the birth of children and things? I just love it when you've got a plant that brings back a memory like that. I love that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I always think, I mean, I wander around my garden, and for me, not every plant, but most plants do tell a story.
Yeah.
You know, I love it when I've, you know, plants that I've maybe moved from. Some of my plants I've lived in several homes, and some of them are 20 years old at least. It's lovely, isn't it? And some that, you know, some friends have given or we've swapped and things like that. Some I've grown from tiny little babies into massive plants now. So it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gardening is a journey. East Coast Tropical in as well.
Morning, Nathan. Hello. How are you doing? Happy New Year to you. Oh, Julia's looking for a large climber.
We've got wisteria.
Oh, we've got wisteria.
Yeah.
We've got a wisteria, and it's the big wisteria that's coming. If you want that.
Yeah. So
Love
that's
wisteria.
coming up. Now, we've also got, and we're really pleased about this, we did the Helix planters last year, but you had to get 3 of the same.
Yeah, and they were the slightly bigger ones as well,
Yes. They were the 13, weren't they?
13-inch, yeah.
Yes. So anyway, we do listen to your feedback. A lot of you bought the big ones, but you want some little pots to go with them. So we are doing a buy one, get one free on the 10-inch Helix planters, but you can mix and match. So whatever colours you need or want, you can go for.
Put the 2 you want in your basket, enter the code, one of them will pop up as free. Or put 4 in your basket, enter the code, 4 will come up. No.
Yeah. Put 4 when you get 4 free.
I'll stop.
That was
yes,
fine.
Exactly that. However many you put in your basket, you'll get the same amount free, basically, is what I'm...
You know
beautiful?
You know what Bex meant, didn't you? I did.
I'm giddy. I'm happy to be here. That's all it is.
We both are.
Right, so we've got 3 different colours for you. Stu's put the bronze colour on screen for you, which is that one there. So what these have got are those lovely sort of stripes going around the side there. And if you hold it next to the silver, you can kind of see the difference in the colour there. Love the 2 of them working together. The darker pots really work well with so many different plants.
And again, UV resistant, frostproof, great drainage on there as well. Just a pot that's going to be with you for many, many years to come. And then the other one we've got, something a bit more natural.
So I think we call it clay, don't we? It's like terracotta or terra nota is what we call it. But again, you've got those stripes going around there. And I think this is... Oh, hello. We've got a lovely video in there.
What was that? I like that. I want to see more. That looked like a bit we shouldn't have seen.
We were clearly filming something at the time.
Yeah.
So we've...
Stu's like, there's a button on the desk that's not doing what it should be doing.
We've also lost the details, Stu. You got the viburnum back on the screen.
Yeah.
Don't tell me off. It's not my fault.
See, I was hoping it'd come back refreshed, weren't you? But...
So we've also got the powdered clay, which looks like the terracotta. What I really like about this is that we've got a family of pots going for you. So if you've invested in some of the other ones, the bigger ones that we've done, and you want the matching pots but in the smaller sizes, we've got those options, and you can pick and choose which colours you go for.
So mix and match, but it's a buy one, get one free.
So Stu, with this buy one, get one free and a mix and match, are we putting the ones we want into our basket and then one of them will come up as free? Fine.
So remember, if you buy 4, how many do you get free back?
4.
Yay! God, we're good, aren't we? But they're lovely pots, and I always think it's always good to have extra pots because then you can move them around. You can do seasonal displays. Yeah. You know, I have lots of pots I'm constantly rotating. You do the same, Bex. Yeah. It just makes it easier.
I still need more. I haven't got enough.
No, I haven't.
Never got enough.
Never have enough. 135.88 and just £8.09. Depends. Right, we are just going to go back to a few of your absolute favourites. And if you've always wanted a Lavatera, beautiful flying plants, but they do grow a bit big. I've got a couple in my garden, and I'm lucky I've got a big garden. But for many years, I had smaller gardens. Sometimes I wish I still did. But anyway, only occasionally. But most of my friends, most modern houses, have got slightly more smaller gardens compared to how we used to. So the breeders worked really hard at producing absolute favourites, but more compact versions. So this Lavatera is only going to grow to about 75 centimetres. And I think Neil sent in a picture of his earlier.
He did.
It looked amazing in that pot, didn't it?
Let me grab it so that we can show it. I mean, it just wants to be planted in a sunny spot. If you want to put it into a border, you absolutely can. But this is definitely one that if you want it in a container, and you do love your container growing, this is a Lavatera that could grow in a container.
Yeah.
The other varieties, those really big ones, they're not really going to work very well in a container, but this one stays nice and compact. Flowering along the length of the spire that you get here from the flowers, so it starts at the bottom, opens in succession all the way up to the tip, and I like that because it creates interest. It's not like it flowers all at once in one go and then goes over. You get that succession of flowering.
And what I really like about Lavatera is they've got a lovely kind of natural air to them. They're not formal, they're a little bit sort of like loose in terms of their growth pattern. They always flower on the new growth, so you don't have to worry too much about pruning. I tend to take off the very top of mine in autumn and then give it a good prune in springtime. But with it being a more compact version, you've got a lot less pruning with this as well.
But they grow quite vigorously, so compact, but it'll grow quite quickly if you see what I mean.
Look at Neil's, I mean, not had it that long, had he?
Neil's is looking amazing, and these are the kind of displays that you can get in your garden as well.
And Neil and all of our regulars, do you know, we can't emphasise enough how it warms our hearts when we see your journeys and you send in pictures like that. It's wonderful.
I love it. It's my favourite thing, genuinely.
It is me. And we are a real garden community, aren't we? And we love the fact in the last 12 months, so many of you have got more involved in our socials, lots more of you emailing, commenting. And if you want to be part of say, the group, you can actually email us ygtv@yougarden.com, or you can chat on YouTube and Facebook.
Grimmy's got ahead of us. He sent us a picture of a grapevine, because he said, I can see you've got a grapevine coming up, so here's a picture of mine. So when we get to the grapevine, we'll bring that in. Thank you.
Yes, we have still got lots coming. I had a grapevine in my old house, and I don't have one in my current garden, but I'm like...
Yeah, grapevines are awesome.
I used to love it.
Yeah.
I used to love sitting underneath it and, just seeing the grapes hanging down with a glass of wine. It was very, very inspirational. Right. So if you want the Lavatera, you get all three of those for just £9.97, and a lot of you will know it really, really often works planting in threes, doesn't it? With us being quite compact, three of those in a border just spread out would look absolutely amazing. It really would. Right, we've also got one of our joint favourites, the Hypericum, is coming up next, and I know. I mean, I was going to say this doesn't look much now. I think it does. I like it.
I agree.
But it's going to look completely different in the summer and the autumn.
Love it. I mean, I fell in love with this Hypericum. There is so much to look at and talk about with this plant. I mean, this is it in all of its glory, in the height of summer. The flowers are amazing. The stamens are just really showy. But then you get these berries that appear on there as well that... I mean, look at the different colours that you get.
That's what I love.
Shades. They start. You've got these lovely sort of pinky, peachy tones, and then you get these burgundy colours, and they go to these really dark colours as they go over as well. It's just constantly interesting, and I find, this has grown in quite a few different locations. It can cope in a full sun position, but actually, I've seen it growing in quite shady spots as well, and it works great. Pollinators absolutely adore it as well. This is another reason to plant it in your garden because, we need to bring them in the garden, don't we?
And it's only £9.99 today, 510-890. Now, one of the, I think out of all the plants that we've got in our gardens, the lavender, in terms of attracting the pollinators, it is always there at number one, isn't it? If you've got lavender en masse, you actually can hear the buzz of the bees, and last year was a very bad year for butterflies. I think it was our I think on the news it was the worst year in 14 years for butterflies. But if you are trying to attract those bees and butterflies, lavender is going to be one of the most amazing plants you could ever have in your garden. But it's the smell, the fragrance with this particular type of lavender is incredible.
I love it. I mean, I know it can divide people, can't it? But I think there is an absolute joy to it, and it just gives that country cottage feel. It's quintessentially country cottage, and if you've got it lining a pathway as you walk past and you brush past those flowers, and it just releases that scent. It is this, you know, it has the calming properties to it as well. There's lots to say about lavender, but as far as a garden plant is concerned, it's low maintenance, it's drought tolerant, it's easy to look after. You know, it's very simple, but gives a lot back. It's got the award of garden merit from the RHS. It's got their badge of perfect for pollinators. I do believe that every garden should have lavender somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't have to plant it en masse. You don't have to get great big lines and borders of it. But one pot with a lavender in. And by the way, this 9-centimetre pot, that will fill a 30-centimetre pot in a little bit of time. It'll take you a couple of years to get there, but you'll get a really good amount of growth in the first year, but second year and third year, it'll fill that pot.
And just a few tips. Loves a sunny position, needs well-drained soil, so if you've got heavy soil, just mix in some grit and gravel as you plant it. But will survive in really quite poor soils as well, so it doesn't need like a really rich, organic soil. It can survive in very, very poor soils. I used to, in my old house, I used to have some literally stuck on the corner of the driveway, and it did get sun most of the day. But I mean, it was in the poorest little bit of crummy soil, and it did amazing.
I never water mine.
No,
like honestly,
no.
It doesn't get watered.
Right. Because once it's established, it is very drought tolerant.
Obviously, once you're establishing it, do make sure you're watering it.
Yes.
I should say that.
Yes.
Once it's established, like, because it's out the front of the house, it's down the side there, so I'm out the back watering. I never water the lavender. It doesn't need it.
It is a brilliant plant, and $2.99 works great. It works great in formal gardens as well. As many of you know, I've got 2 formal borders currently full of lavender, but also country cottage, pathways, in pots, pretty much anywhere.
Very versatile.
So that is down to $2.99. You could easily grow that in one of the planters that we had earlier as well. 510-319. Now we've also got one of the most reliable plants ever. And it's a Nandina. We've had several types of Nandinas recently. They've been really popular. This is one of the latest ones, known as Gulfstream, and it's the lowest ever price today at just £7.49.
Actually, a great pairing for lavender, and I only say this because there's a house around the corner from me that have got Nandina and they've got lavender, and the two things together work really nicely, actually. But yeah, it's a brilliant one, isn't it? Because this is evergreen, and if you've got, we're all looking at our gardens at the moment. I mean, who was it who sent the picture earlier? Was it Bill? No, it was Dingo, wasn't it, who said, garden's looking a bit tatty. I disagree. This is what gardens look like at this time of year. But if you are looking at a garden thinking it looks a bit bare, it looks a bit tatty, Nandina dotted around in there can actually elevate your winter garden as well as looking fabulous all year round, because it doesn't drop its leaves, but it also has interest throughout the rest of the year with berries and flowers as well.
And if you maybe... my mum's 84 now, and we do have to, because I look after my garden. My mum still does quite a bit of self, but we often look and think, how can we make it just that little bit easier this year? Nandina, so easy, just so undemanding, so low maintenance, but always look good. And I mentioned it the other week, but there's a little terraced house on a main road near the supermarket that I go to, and the Nandina is squashed in. There's a little I don't know what to call it, like a tiny bit of space outside the house. Yeah. So it's basically on a road.
And this is a main road, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a main road.
So there's a lot of traffic.
Loads of pollution.
Yeah.
And the Nandina does great there.
Yeah.
So if you've got maybe a garden in the middle of a city, or you've got a balcony, something like that, absolutely superb. But it's all about low maintenance for that one and always looking good. I'd love to be a Nandina. I'd love to look good every day. I would. I'll tell you.
I thought you were going to say I'd love to be low maintenance.
No, I'll tell you I'm quite low maintenance.
You are.
I did look shocking yesterday. I woke up because I didn't get to bed till 4. I did wake up shocking. But Nandina wakes up every day looking great.
Every day, even when it's had a heavy night.
I'd love to be an Nandina.
If you're a plant, what would you like to be? That's a great question. We'll have that in our Christmas special.
What would we be?
I need to think about that a bit more. I'm not just going to spit out an answer there. I need to think about that one a little bit. It's got to be a good answer. If you were a plant, what would you be?
Yeah.
Or what would you like to be? Not what would you be, what would you like to be? Because those are two different questions, aren't they?
Oh, I'm thinking now.
Yeah. Let me give that some thought. We'll come back to that one. Right, let's move on to the viburnum, shall we? Go on.
I wouldn't want to be a cactus, I'll say that.
No, spiky.
Spiky. Yeah. Quite boring.
Yeah, Stu's saying he's a bamboo because he's tall and slim. It feels like a good idea when you get me, but then I get annoying. No, that's not true,
not Stu.
Not at all.
Right, I tell you what, if I was a viburnum though...
Yeah, I'd want to be this viburnum.
Yeah, because this is the most spectacular viburnum you can imagine.
Wow.
And I mean, let's be honest, Bex, we've had quite a few viburnums and some real beauties. But the snowball tree is just outstanding, isn't it?
I love it.
Well, look at it.
It's going to be incredible, isn't it? When it gets those flowers on there that look like a snowball. Obviously, it's why it's called the snowball tree. And this is flowering sort of May, June time, so late spring into early summer. So really good time, and actually a bit of a transition time as well, because your spring bulbs have just gone over and you're just waiting for all the summer stuff to start. So really good transitional plant, taking you through those couple of seasons. And it can get really big as well. So this can get to 4 metres height and spread if you allow it to. Of course, you can prune it back and you can maintain the size, but if you want it to be that big and that covered in those flowers at that time of year as well, I think that's going to be spectacular.
Because you know, some of the viburnums I've got, they've got completely over by that time.
Yeah, of course. It's an award winner as well. It's got the AGM, so it's garden worthy for sure. Fully winter hardy. This comes with our lifetime guarantee. Haven't spoken about that, have we? Any plant that has the little snowflake symbol on it on the website, when you're looking at the plant, it's got a little snowflake symbol, it says winter hardy. If it's got that, it means it's got our lifetime guarantee. I don't know of any other company that provides a lifetime guarantee to their plants. I've seen some that offer 4-year guarantee, never lifetime. So what that means is that if you plant this, and at some point in the future, 10 years from now, it dies, you can actually come back to us. As long as we still stock it, we'll replace it for you,
isn't it?
Free of charge. You just cover a postage cost to get it to you, but we will replace it.
So do bear that in mind. I mean,
it's really good.
That is an incredible guarantee.
I love that.
Do. But yeah, that's on my list today. I can't wait to place my first order of 2025. I'm actually quite excited about that.
It's quite funny because my kids have been doing what's my first song of 2025 going to be when they're listening on Spotify? What's the first film going to be?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of firsts.
Other ones that I won't repeat, but yeah, it's thinking about what your firsts are going to be.
It's true. So let us know what your first order is.
What's it going to be?
2025. Is that going to be in your basket today? 5, 10, 8, 9, 5. Right, we've still got a lot to show you, including a lilac collection.
Yes. So we've got a trio of the lovely, fragrant lilacs that we've got here. So 1, 2, 3, lovely fresh growth coming through on these, and you are going to get the 3 colours included in here as well. And this is all about fragrance. It's all about filling your garden with pollinators as well, because this is an absolute magnet to them.
And it's weird, isn't it? When we think of lilac, we think of it just being lilac coloured, but you do get, say, pink, white and blue.
You do.
Yeah. They're going to look really, again, they're either 9 centimetre pots. 3 of those in a border or 3 in pots grouped together would look spectacular.
Yeah, and of course you can enjoy that beauty outside, but what I like about, because I'm all into fragrance, I love fragrance and the fragrance that you get from these flowers, you can cut stems from here and you can bring that fragrance indoors. Wonderful flowering here in sort of May and June time. Enjoy it filling your garden, but also cut some and enjoy it filling your home at the same time.
Yeah, I love the idea of that. And say, having 3 different colours. Just going to check the roots for you as well.
Yeah, let's have a look.
I can tell they're going to be good. Yeah, there you go. Look at this.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
They are. The YouGarden plants, of course they are. And of course, fully winter hardy, so you can get this planted in right now. So we always say at this time of year, as long as the ground isn't frozen or waterlogged, you can do your planting.
And if it is, just pot them on.
Yeah.
Or keep them, I mean, you know, they could stay in here for a little while. They could happily stay in here for a little while. But while we've got this as a half-price deal, it's worth grabbing hold of it, isn't it? Because obviously once these get into bloom and into foliage and into flower, we won't have a half-price deal on them.
I'm actually quite tempted with those as well, because I've got one lilac, but I'd love to have all the other colours there.
Yeah, definitely.
I really would. Right, what else have we got for you today?
We've got your Teddy's favourite.
Have you still got that clip, Stu? Yeah, it's not. The clip we've got is a very similar plant.
It's a very similar plant. It's still a catmint. This is Nepita Neptune, and it is a buy one get one free. And the reason for this is that cats actually really enjoy this plant. They love it.
They go, there's Teddy. So it's a slightly different variety, but the same effect. Oh, I remember. Honestly, he was hilarious.
Yeah,
he really was. He just could not get enough of that.
Time.
He was in a mood this morning. I wouldn't let him out because it was too dark still. I only let him out and they're like, yeah. I was trying to explain, no, it's a bit dark. But this is only a little sideline. Yes, cats love it. They're naturally attracted to nepita. But it actually flowers beautifully as well.
It does. You get these, they are a bit lavender-like, aren't they, the way that they flower. It gets to about a couple of feet height and sort of a similar spread on here as well. It has, it's quite bushy, perennial plant that you're getting here, so it's going to come back for you year after year. It's got lovely sort of aromatic leaves. It will form clumps, this as well, so you can divide this and spread it throughout your garden. It's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit as well, so again, another one, another award-winning plant that is absolutely garden worthy. But
I'd say if you have got cats, the added bonus of them absolutely loving this. And it is 561160. Just $9.99, but it is a buy one get one free. Right, Julie was looking for climber.
Yes.
We have got a wisteria coming up, which is really well established, but we've also got a beautiful selection of passifloras, passion flowers. You get 3 different varieties. And I'm a big fan of passion flowers. My mum's got a huge one in her garden.
I love passion flowers.
We've had it years. I think they're one of the most outstanding climbers that you could imagine. They're a bit out of this world. And let's just show you. I mentioned my mum's passiflora. She's had it about 15 years, I would say. It used to be in a pot, now it's in the border, and we cut it back every year, so down to about a metre. And in one season, it covers 3 or 4 fence panels. This is what it looked like in 2024. You know, sometimes plants really go wild. Well, this one has. This is a passiflora. And believe it or not, I mean, look, it does need trimming back. It's kind of taken over. It's covering this Lavatera here. But this plant, I actually cut back. You see what that green trellis is? I cut it back to about halfway up that trellis early this year, probably about March time. And that is the amount of growth that's taken place. And it's October right now, and that is still flying. And look at the buds. I mean, hopefully a lot of them will still come out. Depends how cold it's going to be. But it is absolutely incredible. And the flowers are one of the most exotic flowers you can ever imagine. So, yeah, you know, I know when you buy a passiflora, you think, oh, is it ever going to get that big? This honestly has covered the whole of those fence panels and the whole of this border in just one season. It's amazing. That was me at the end of that clip. I look like a mannequin. No. In fact, my nickname at school was Thunderbird, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, I used to think I looked like I used to think I was like a puppet. But yeah, my mum's garden, and she's only been there 4 years now. But and that's a border that's, you know, established really quickly. But the passion flower was amazing. But you get 3 different varieties in this one.
Yeah, I think passion flowers are just some of the most intricate and beautiful and 3D. And I know all flowers are 3D, but they have this layered nature to them.
Maybe we should call them 4D.
Maybe we should. They are, honestly, they are exotic. They're lush. They're beautiful. You're getting Lavender Lady, which is the kind of purpley blue one. You're getting the Victoria, which is the pink one. And you're getting Constance Elliott, which is that white one in there as well. They just want a beautiful sunny spot. You know, they just want a decent amount of sun. And a bit like clematis, they do like to have a restricted root. So if you can sort of, not like a clematis.
You mean a shady root?
That's exactly what I mean. Cool root.
Yes.
Sorry. They do like to have a little bit of a cool
with you,
root.
Bex.
There we go. I am.
Yeah.
I'm warming up. Sorry. But yeah, the plant itself would like to be in a bit of sunshine, so do that. They do get some fruits on them as well, don't they? After the flowers, you get these lovely little sort of plum-sized fruits
forget
on
about
them.
those sometimes. Yeah.
So just adding a bit of extra interest in there. I mean, they are supposedly edible in hot summers, but really they're more about ornamental than anything.
But they are the most exotic climber you can imagine. Obviously, my mum's, you saw it there. I mean, it was amazing all summer long, and it really did throw out hundreds of flowers. So if you'd like to go for that collection, 1597 550
Right, so who was it that sent the snowdrop picture in for us earlier on? Was that Bill?
It was Bill, yes.
Bill in Scotland sent through a picture, and the snowdrops are starting to poke up through the ground.
Yes!
If you are missing that, if you don't have snowdrops in your garden, then this is what we've got for you. Okay, so they are potted. Now, I know they look like empty pots right now. However, where is the one there? So it's starting to poke up there, look.
Oh, there! See? Yes!
So they're just starting to poke up through. There was another one somewhere and I can't find it. But anyway, they are starting to poke up through the ground. So I just want to show you what you're going to get so you're not like, what on earth? That is what you will be receiving, just starting to poke up through the ground. And the thing with...
but these are lily of the valley, Bex, aren't they?
Yeah,
I don't know.
For? I've totally lost my mind.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry.
I was like, I was looking at...
I think you did say when we were moving to
I was
snowdrops in my ear.
I'm like, why? Anyway...
These are lily of the valley.
Yes,
that's how they're going to come to you.
If you're looking for white flowers.
Right, springtime.
Yes, lily of the valley.
Springtime, you are going to be getting your lily of the valleys popping up out the ground. About April, May time. The shoots are starting to come through now, which is what you can see in those pots. These do have the AGM. They are Award of Garden Merit holders. And what I love about lily of the valley is that these can actually grow in slightly shady spots as well. So you don't need them to be in a full sun position. They can grow in a slightly shady corner.
And although you can grow them from pips, as we call them, it is sometimes a bit easier to grow them. Like we've got them already established, beginning to shoot and come through. And they are, I mean, lily of the valley, when you do see them en masse, and they do spread quite vigorously actually over a number of years, when you see that carpet of white, it's amazing, isn't it?
They do
and the
multiply.
fragrance, of course.
And this is the beautiful thing about it, is the fact that they will multiply in your garden. And lily of the valley is used in perfumes, isn't it?
It is.
There is a beautiful fragrance to lily of the valley.
But they are really good, as Bex was saying, for that shady spot. And they spread to the roots, so the roots spread and then they form the little pips and babies, so you'll see some plants going up nearby. And I always think lily of the valley is just a very... It's quite an old plant in the UK. It's very traditional, but it is quite magical. And pure white just looks beautiful, doesn't it?
It's so beautiful. Now, it is hardy. It does like moist soil. So the important thing here is to not let these dry out. Certainly as they're first getting established, you don't want them to dry out. So do keep them well watered. Shouldn't be a problem here in the UK, should it? We should be able to do that.
And as a cut flower, they are magnificent as well. So who needs snowdrops when you've got lily of the valley? That's what I say. That's what I say.
Yeah, but they'll come after your snowdrops. So
they will.
And actually like a similar position. So they can grow in a very similar location. So you'll have your snowdrops first and then your lily of the valley after. That's how I should have pivoted, wasn't it?
It's all right. We're back on track.
Right,
it's the first show. But I was thinking, again, I don't have lily of the valley in my current garden, but I used to love it in my last garden.
Yeah, because it's easy, isn't it?
Yeah,
to be honest, you
easy.
don't actually have to do anything to it. You plant it. Obviously, keep it watered well once it's getting established, but it grows, it gives you the beautiful flowers, sort of April, May time. It dies back down on its own. It can live in those shady spots. You don't actually have to do anything to it, do you?
My gran used to have lily of the valley, and it was amazing. I mean, God, there's one side of a garden just covered in it. So anyway, if you like to go for that, already, say, in your 3 9-centimetre pots. And so if they arrive and there's, you think, oh, there's just compost in there, they will be shooting in no time at all. Right, we're going to move on to an Acer now, but a very special Acer.
Yeah, this is Acer palmatum, and this is Phoenix, okay? And it's a really good time to grab your Acer right now. First of all, you're going to get an amazing price. When this is in full leaf, Acers command a high price point because they're really difficult to propagate, actually. You know, they're really quite tricky, which is why they command a high price point. So first of all, you're going to get amazing price on this. But second of all, the reason to get it now is you're going to enjoy the full beauty of this right from the point where those leaves start to form and start to appear. And then you can take it on the journey and you can grow this into the beauty that it will become.
Now, if you're wondering what price it is, we're going to give you the details because we have got an amazing price on this. $12.99, which is, I mean, like $11.69 if you're our club member. But what I love about this particular Acer, because all Acers, generally speaking, they all lose their leaves in winter. They do look a little bit boring. This has got really exciting bare wood, and it looks a bit like a dogwood, doesn't it? A bit like a corners.
It does indeed.
Look, you see the red?
You can see the red colour on the stems of that. So actually, it does provide some winter interest, even though it is a deciduous plant. It is the palmatum phoenix as well. So this is my favourite type of Acer, because you're getting those lovely sort of palm-shaped leaves. You're getting the multiple lobes on there, the slightly serrated edges. It's got a real zen quality to it.
And I've actually got one of these in my garden, and it is bright. It's a bit more established. The stems are bright red.
No, the stems are bright red, and they have. So it's known as a snake's head maple. So it's got a real distinctive sort of bark to it. It'll obviously come out once it's slightly more mature, but you get the sort of snake patterning on the bark.
So a lot more interesting, isn't it?
A lot more interesting when it drops its leaves.
It's amazing, that one.
With Acers, you do get this fantastic colour change happening as well throughout when the leaves first come out, through the summer, and then into autumn. The change of colour that you get from Acers are absolutely fantastic. They're ridiculously easy to look after. Please don't think that these are tricky and hard work. They really aren't. They only want two things. Put me in a dappled shade position. And put me in a sheltered spot. So it doesn't want to be where it's going to be blowing a gale, because they'll suffer with what's called wind burn to the leaves. And of course, bright sun will scorch the leaves. So dappled shade, nice sheltered spot, and they will delight you for decades, you know.
And there's a lovely, I've got a whole side where I've got Acers and ferns and things, and it's really tranquil. Acers have that, like,
zen.
They do.
Lovely, calming.
Great near water features and things like that. But yeah, once they, put them in the right position, and they are super, super easy. This one can get quite big actually as well. Yeah,
this is one of the bigger ones. So this can get several metres in height. You know, we're probably talking 4 or 5 metres it can actually get to, but it's slow growing. It takes years to get to those kind of heights.
I will bring in a picture, man. It was too dark to take a picture this morning. I nearly did it. But I'll take a picture for Sunday.
How big is yours?
It's big. I'd say it's about 3 metres now.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's grown quite quickly for an Acer.
Has it?
Yeah, it has.
Maybe it's in a nice spot. Maybe
it is. It's just happy. Just happy.
It's probably one of the more vigorous varieties, to be fair, but still slow growing in comparison to others.
And mine
other plants.
Is in the ground as well, so it's...
that'll make a difference.
Right, just quickly, by the way, we've also got... a brilliant offer on our bark mulch, the spruce bark mulch, which is the premium one. I used a lot of this last year in my containers and beds and borders. Postage is included, and it's just £22.99, and that is 100,061 for the 70 litres bag. And so I mentioned that I used this a lot last year. In fact, I know Elaine, one of our regulars, bought several bags of these.
She bought loads of these, didn't she?
But I used it in the pub garden because I was absolutely sick of a couple of containers there, always looking a mess. So have a look at how you could benefit from the ornamental spruce bark mulch. Hello, well, this is our YouGarden ornamental spruce bark mulch. It looks gorgeous, actually. It's a really, really nice quality. But there are so many uses for this. It's great as a weed suppressant. So if you've got areas in your garden, beds and borders that get lots of weeds, a nice thick layer of this will just suppress those weeds. Also great as a top dressing around pots and containers. That's what I'm going to use it for here. If you've got children's play areas, it makes a nice soft cushion around those play areas, or maybe areas in your garden that you need to walk over. Having this there just makes it a lot safer and a lot easier. So I'm going to use it here. The reason being, I've got the euonymus here. And to be honest, whenever I've tried to plant things around them, they've never done that well. This is just full of roots. It really, really is. So what I'm going to do, because I just don't think it looks very nice. It looks a little bit ugly. I'm just going to do a nice thick layer of this
and just see. Oh, see, yeah, this is going to really work. I tell you what, because it's autumn as well. I think that's going to look fun. Also, it is a great duvet if you've got something that's a little bit tender, something like the anigalis that I had growing here in the summer. It's a tender perennial, so if it needs that extra protection from cold weather, then this would be absolutely superb. That looks so good, doesn't it? Really nice. Do you know what I'm amazed about? So I haven't done as thick a layer as you normally would for some other jobs, but it's amazing how far this has actually gone. And some of our regular YouGarden customers have bought several bags of this. It can really just make the whole garden look so much more neater and tidier. So I've just stood back and had a look at this from a distance. And what really struck me as well is that all the green foliage now really stands out. You've got the contrast of the green with the bark mulch, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased with that. I really should have done this many, many years ago.
I'll tell you what, those containers look so much better using the ornamental spruce bark mulch. Postage is included as well. And don't forget, if you have just joined us, your free gift today is, with every single order, you will get your blooming fast. And if you order if you place 2 separate orders, what will you get?
2 free gifts.
You will.
And if you just have to enter the code.
Place 3 separate orders.
3 free gifts.
And it works. Basically, we like you to get the best value. So sometimes it makes sense to just place 1 big order and get your order to over £40 and get 1 free gift. But when things have got postage included, like the compost, like the ornamental spruce bark mulch, sometimes it's better just to place a separate order with those and get your free gift.
Absolutely.
Right, still got loads to show you. By the way, keep those messages coming in. It's our first show.
Yeah, we love hearing from you. Happy New Year's all round, and we love seeing your garden. So if you want to email, do send us any pictures.
And it's exciting to plan your garden for 2025, isn't it? It really is. And we've got so many great ideas to share with you, some brand new plants, some great offers as ever. So here's a reminder of some things we've seen already. Oh, and I'll tell you what, they fancier.
Oh, I'm so tempted by that.
The size of these, honestly, I mean, look at it.
Yeah, and look at the price. It's only $13.99, and that is very representative of the size that you would be receiving.
I mean, we
desperate to be planted.
They're all big, and look, we are going to be honest. They're a bit pot bound.
Yeah.
So what we could do, we could actually repot that into probably a 2 or even a 3 litre pot and charge a lot more money for it. But we haven't. But you will need to put it in the ground and repot it fairly swiftly because they are a bit pot bound. They're far too big for that pot. They're huge, aren't they?
Huge.
But really healthy. I mean, it's amazing.
The stems on them are really thick.
Yeah.
It's a really well-established plant. I'm so tempted myself.
Do you know what? Mine has taken. I've got a few of these in my garden, but one of mine has taken about 3 years to get to this size, and I think I paid $12.99 for it, and it's taken 3 years to get to this size. 510 428, a brilliant buy at just $13.99, $12.59 for club members. Now, what else have we got? Some other favourites today. The gin and tonic plant, I'm completely with you on this one. Known as the flower gone white, great price. It is the deal of the week. It's only $7.99, normally $24.99. And you get these lovely buds forming now, kind of like pinky buds. They will burst into these star-shaped flowers in March time. And the foliage smells like the best G&T you can imagine, mixed with a lovely tonic. So really fragrant and a nice, easy one to go. Goes to about 2 metres in terms of height there, 5'10", 9'86". Now, also popular today, something really a bit different, and it's known as the Solia heterophilia. It's a climber from Australia. We do say it's like semi-hardy, so it will tolerate up to say -5 maximum. So just bear that in mind. You want it in a really nice sunny spot. Unless you live in the south, I'd probably have it in a pot so you can actually protect it a bit easier. But it flowers in late summer, early autumn, followed by the most weird looking, wonderful fruits as well. But really different. It is evergreen. And it's 5'10", 972. Very tempted for that to buy that one myself. Right, a viburnum that's been really popular. This is absolutely on my list today, and it's the viburnum opulus snowball tree. So it's a viburnum that produces the most magnificent globes of white flowers. It's really striking. Say, if I glanced at that, I could almost think it was a hydrangea, because the flowers are so magnificent and striking, proper pure white, and this lovely kind of globe, say, shape to them. Absolutely incredible. And that is only $11.99 today, and that's 510-895. Now also we have that lovely passiflora collection, the passion flower, which also includes the white, the pink, and the purple as well. This is the white one. This is known as Constance, and it's a stunning, pure white passion flower. I mean, we were saying earlier, the three-dimensional nature of these. Then you've got Victoria, which is that lovely pink, of course, as well. Really exotic. They love a sunny spot. So a bit like clematis, they love full sun, but keep the roots shaded. They are hardy, but again, you might need to give them a little bit of extra protection if it's a particularly cold winter. And that's 550-286. You get all three of those in 9cm pots. Now, my cat's favourite, Teddy, if you're watching, you'd love this. It is the Nepita Neptune. So yeah, cats go wild for this. There's just certain... Teddy does watch the telly, my cat. He actually does watch the TV. If I ever put on a video of, like, not a video, but like a, you know, if I stream like a mouse film or something, he absolutely loves it. But this is the Nepita. So the reason I'm talking about Teddy, he's my cat, and cats love the smell of these. They go crazy for them, but they are a beautiful, beautiful plant. Flowers in summertime with these sort of like spheres of bluey, purpley, say divine flowers. So really quite beautiful, but cats love it as well. 561-160. Then we brought you the Lily of the Valley. Now these arrive in 9cm pots. They might just begin to shoot. Don't worry if they're not, because that'll happen in the next few weeks, but you can get them in the ground right now. They like a moist position and they love shade, and they do naturalise and spread very, very rapidly as well. Very fragrant, of course, as well. Lily of the Valley often used in scents and fragrances and soaps and things like that. 630-016. Then we have also got another really popular item, which is the Clethra pink spire. This is an interesting one because it actually can do really well in shade. So yeah, there are, I think there's more and more plants nowadays that can really give you great colour in shade positions, and this is certainly one of them. And the flowers, it's a little bit like a callistemia. You get these lovely kind of bottle brush shapes to the flowers, so like dozens of them all on the one stem there. 510-958 for the Clethra pink spire there, and that is only $8.99 for club members. Now we've also got a lovely lilac collection. I think Elaine's gone for this one today. 3 different colours, so not just your traditional, say pinky lilac colour, but you've got white and you've got a blue as well. Was it Alwyn that's gone for this one? 510-028, but yeah, all about the beautiful flowers and that exquisite fragrance that you always get with lilac. And again, they love a sunny position. And then I think the Acer, I've got this particular one, I think this is an absolute steal today. It's a Palmatum Phoenix. Now you've got all the different colour changing leaves on here, and you get beautiful spring colours, autumn colours, but this one has really interesting wood. The wood it's a little bit like a cornus, like a dogwood. So you do get really vibrant red stems in the winter time as well. 511-003 for the Acer Palmatum. Just a few little golden rules. It likes dapple shade, so keep it out of full sun and keep it protected from winds. Acers absolutely hate wind. They really do. They just like shelter, dapple shade, and it will be very, very happy. That one can get quite big, 4 to 5 metres when fully mature. Well, Bex has got the giggles. What's so funny?
You're talking about wind.
Oh yeah.
I'm really giddy this morning. I'm so sorry.
You're just happy being back, and let's go.
Do you know what? I'm so happy.
I know.
I can't tell you how happy I am.
Now that doesn't mean that Bex hasn't loved having the kids at home over Christmas.
I loved it, but I'm really happy to be out.
Yes. You can have too much of a good thing.
So happy to be around adults. It feels so nice. Do say it. It's so nice to have a purpose, to go somewhere and do something and not just lounge or what's on telly today. Anyway, sorry.
And it is.
Good morning.
I love the start of a new year.
I do.
It is about maybe changing things, planning, and it's a brand new gardening year for all of us. Right, this is the how much food you got left?
There's still so how much cheese you got left in the fridge. There is a whole thing of boursin, you know, the garlicky one. Oh, I love it. And a whole one of those cheese things that you put in the oven, and it's like fondue. Oh. And you dip bread. I've got a whole one of those left. No Stiltons left though.
I mean, I don't know about you at home, but I won't settle until all of that Christmas food is gone.
Yeah.
You know, you like that?
Yeah. This next week, basically, that's it. Just eat it.
And then start.
And then start anew.
The worst thing is I bought a massive bag of sweets for my nieces and I forgot to give it to them. So
so you got a bag of sweets?
So yesterday I spent the day recovering just eating sweets on the sofa. What a healthy start to 2025. Right, we've got some lovely planters. I really like this one. It's called the Barley. It's a planter in antique beige, 14 centimetres. I mean, that looks like a real solid stone pot.
Solid stone pot, but it isn't. It is made of plastic, so it's nice and lightweight. It can be used inside as well. So you can drill the holes in it, which is really easy to do with a plastic pot, way easier than trying to drill into a stone or a ceramic or a terracotta pot. So you can drill as many holes in there as you want to, but what I actually quite like about this is that you've got the option to have this as an indoor planter as well, which is great, isn't it?
And we do have, I mean, you just sometimes don't realise, but we have got a fantastic selection of houseplants.
Amazing houseplants
on the YouGarden website.
Really good, yeah.
And we do, we often do, if you've never seen them, but we do TikTok lives on a Tuesday, Thursday and a Sunday, and we really do feature a lot of our houseplants on those.
Yeah, you'll be doing one this afternoon.
Yes, I've got one this afternoon, 2 till 4. What day is it today?
Is it Thursday today?
It's Thursday, isn't it? Yeah.
It's that time of year, though, isn't it, when you forget what day it is?
Yes,
okay,
it's
so we're not
Thursday.
allowed to do it again. This is it.
Then we've both got one on Sunday together, haven't we?
Together, yeah.
And that will be 1:30 till 3:30.
It's a little bit different to how we do it in the potting shed, so it's really quite lovely. You know, come and join us on that. It's fun. You might enjoy it.
Just download TikTok. You can download the app and then watch us later on today. But it's still in the potting shed.
Sometimes.
Oh, yes. Sometimes, yes, you're right. It's in the massive greenhouse.
Yeah, which is really fun. I love that.
Yeah. Hey, hang on, Stu. I'm just thinking...
Is it to this afternoon? Is the shop back open on TikTok?
Yeah. Could we do it from the greenhouse today, because we're quiet? Because not many people are back from work yet, are they? Ooh. How cold is it? I'm thinking it'd be warm.
No, it'll be warm in the greenhouse, because it's a climate-controlled room, isn't it, for all the houseplants?
Can you ask? And so if you want to see what the greenhouse looks like where we store all the houseplants, you might get to see it this afternoon. I'm just thinking it'd be nice and warm in there.
You should get my jacket on that I got for Christmas. I got myself a heated gilet. My husband bought me a heated gilet for Christmas. It's brilliant.
I walked in this morning, I was like, "Hi, Beck, you all right?"
I've got a heated jacket on.
Yeah, I'm fine. It'll be warm and toasty.
It's lovely.
Yeah, he's nice. Actually.
I highly recommend if you're cold like me.
Great for gardening. My mum actually has got one of those winter gardens in the winter.
Brilliant.
Yeah, they're really good. Right, so if you want the barley planter, indoor or outdoor, $9.99. Now, who was it that talked about the grapevine? Was it
Grimmy, I think it was. I'll get it right this time.
So we've got a grapevine for you right now. It's a variety that has been specially bred to perform amazingly well in the UK. It's already well established, so it's about a metre to 1.20 metres in the 3 litre pot, and it is down to $14.99. And again, one of my goals for 2025, I want to... my old house had a pergola, had a grapevine. I loved it, and I would love to build.
Yeah, lovely to have a nice seating area in the summertime, isn't it? So Grimmy sent us a picture of his. This is in West Yorkshire. He's trained it into an arch. Yes, you've sent this picture to us before, and I love it.
And that's in West Yorkshire.
That is such a good picture. Perfect with that lovely sunset in the background there. And that is gorgeous.
When you get all of those bunches of grapes in autumn time. Yes, I've obviously got all the benefits of being able to pick them, enjoy them, eat them, But there is something magical sitting by a grapevine and just admiring those bunches of grapes.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you feel like you're, you know,
my mum and dad had one for years, and it was over a sort of archway going into the garden, and it did feel quite magical walking underneath it. And I love the idea of having it, you know, as you're planning, with a pergola and a seating area where you're going to sit in the evenings or during the daytimes. Creates lovely shade as well, you know, because you get amazing foliage from a grapevine. So it creates a lovely sort of natural shady spot for when you have got those hot summer days.
And when they are established, they do produce tens of kilos
of them, don't they?
of grapes.
Yeah.
Sun position is ideal. They are not that fussy. They really not. Just been asked, does it naturally climb? Does it need help? I used to give mine a bit of help.
I think a little bit of help, you know, helps. A little bit of help helps.
I mean, I had mine going up and over underneath a plastic roof, so I used to have to tie it a little bit.
Just tie it in a little bit, guide it in the right direction, but they're pretty good.
Yeah. And I used to be once it got established, I was sometimes quite ruthless. I'd cut it right back and it would cover that pergola. It really would.
It's quite vigorous in its growth. It will get big quick, which is great. That's what we want, isn't it, from a climber? Bred for the UK, 340034. Right, also really popular today has been our Australian bluebell, Solia, which is something new, something a little bit different. These originate from Australia. They climb natural trees and things like that, but we have got it here in the UK. And we do say it's harder up to about -5, so it does need a sunny spot, and depending on where you live in the UK, it may need a little bit of extra protection. We're going to suggest growing it in a pot like our tower pots, and then it's just a lot easier to fleece it and to protect it if it's particularly cold. Yeah, we can move those, can't you?
Yeah.
So, you know, you can literally just pick it up and take it to wherever you need to. Obviously, if you live in the milder areas of the UK and you're not expecting those kinds of temperatures, you'll be able to plant it out and it'll be absolutely fine. I like the fact that there's lots of interest on this one. You're evergreen, first of all. So, a lot of climbers, they are deciduous. I've got my jasmine, which is the only evergreen
we've got the details for the gin and tonic. We've got that's coming up as well, don't worry.
It's coming.
Your G&T's on its way, don't panic. But the Solia heterophilia is with us right now at 9.99. So you're saying, Bex,
so evergreen, and I love that about a climber because a lot of them tend to be deciduous. You get the lovely bluebell-like flowers on here, a real kind of classy colour on there. But actually, you've also got fruits that appear on here. They're quite big. They get to about 2.5 centimetres. Edible fruits. They are likened to blueberries. I don't think they're quite as sweet as a blueberry, but they are likened. They're bigger, But it's just interesting, isn't it, to have that on the plant?
I'm just so intrigued with that.
Definitely. Flowers, fruits, and evergreen foliage on a climbing plant, like that does offer a huge amount, doesn't it? Yeah. Really well established as well. You know, it's a really nice big plant already in that 2-litre pot, and it's under a tenner today.
I'm like you, I know a lot of you have ordered this. I'm just fascinated by that. I want to see it. I want to grow it.
Yeah.
I always think every year you learn what your favourites are. So last year hydrangeas were amazing, so I'm doing more hydrangeas this year. Hardy geraniums, they were amazing last year.
Yeah.
More of those, please.
Yes,
We've got some coming up on the show. I love the viburnum. I've got to say, looking across over there's so many winners. But I always think it's good to try something new, isn't it?
Definitely.
A few new things.
Definitely.
And I don't think I've ever seen one of these in a garden in the UK.
Yeah, I agree. I think as you say that now, we'll start spotting them.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful one, though, and something just that little bit different. So might be your first purchase of 2020.
Yes. And thank you, by the way, to everyone that has placed an order today. Right, G&Ts, anyone?
Fancy a G&T? Yes, please.
Now, I really don't. I'm having a nice, healthy week. Like most people, I did eat and drink a little bit too much over Christmas.
That's what it's all about. That's what we're supposed to do.
But you can have your G&T in the form of a plant. And actually, the smell, the fragrance, is incredible.
It is incredible.
Isn't it?
It does. I mean, it's called the G&T plant because it does emit a scent that is similar to the smell of a gin and tonic.
Yeah.
And it really, really is.
I mean, when you put a really nice G&T with a premium tonic and you get all those botanicals, that's exactly, it's quite rich in terms of its fragrance.
Definitely.
Lots of different layers and notes in this one.
What you can see on this plant as well is there are so many buds. I mean, just on this one stem here in front of my hand, There's what? 25 buds just on that one stem right there. So look at that entire plant. There are hundreds on that plant. Now this can get to, what we're talking, 2 meters, 2.5 meters height and spread here. So just imagine that in springtime, covered in those buds. Well, wintertime covered in the buds, and then springtime just bursting into bloom. And it is with that fragrance as well.
And it's going to flower at that magnificent time when all your bulbs, like things like your daffodils, potentially your tulips, they're all going to be in full bloom. I've got a choicer in my garden. I'm thinking this could look really nice just a bit further down from the choicea because they're going to flower about the similar time. And it is the deal of the week today. It's only £7.99. Normally £25, so if you want to snap it up today, make that your first purchase. Do you know what? Even if that's all you want today, maybe you're on a bit of a budget today and you're thinking, I can't afford to buy a lot, but I just want to buy one new thing. Get that for £7.99. Even with your postage, it's still an amazing deal, and you do get. You read my mind, Bex.
You will get your free gift because obviously you need to enter the code in order to get the. Saving. £17 saving.
I know.
It's £17 saving. You need to enter that code to get that, but that will also put your free gift, which is worth £4.99, into your basket as well. So it's a really good basket, even paying that postage
And you'll
cost.
know if you've ever received this as a free gift before. I mean, it's the best fertiliser that we do. It will make 100 litres. So that's depending on the size of your watering can, it's 10, 20 watering cans full, and it is brilliant. Pretty much feeding everything. It really is. Even your houseplants.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And we're not far off the point where we're going to be starting feeding on a regular basis, you know, so do grab hold of as many of those as you can afford to do by placing multiple orders.
Right, this is
just put dirt on my trousers.
Ridiculous for the price. I mean, I'm not being funny. If this was in a nursery, garden centre, if that was £29.99, I don't think you'd question it.
You wouldn't question it because it is huge, you know. It's this 3 feet in height already. It has outgrown its pot. It's in a 17-centimetre pot. It could be put into a 2 or 3 litre pot quite happily.
I kind of want to just put it in.
And we could charge more.
I almost want to put it in a big pot just to show.
Well, yeah, I mean, that.
Yeah, but even that sort of.
Even that doesn't look the right size, does it?
I mean, what it needs
is something the size of a barley.
Yeah, just show
I
the
actually
barley.
like this when you put it in this barley earlier. This is what's tempted me to go for this because I think that in that
and it needs to go in there.
That in that barley pot would live in there quite happily for several years.
I think this suddenly really shows you the size and how spectacular this is. When you see that suddenly in a bigger pot, you realise how big and beautiful it is. And this isn't a one-off. Please don't think we've just picked from the nursery the best looking one. They're all really big at the moment. Now, I'll be honest, when the next stock comes in, it may be a bit smaller because these are normally about half this size, but the current stock is huge.
I'm buying that.
It's lovely, isn't it?
And if you've still got any of your £5 vouchers from your club membership, then you could add your £5 voucher to this and get it for an even, which is exactly why I thought of this, because I've got a £5 voucher to use. So when I get home, I'm buying that. I'm buying the barley planter. I'm putting a £5 voucher on it.
I've still got one to use. Do you know what though? I don't know where.
Don't know where you put it.
I don't know where I put it. I know it's somewhere.
You'll find it.
Apparently, if I contact customer service, they tell me which one I haven't used.
There you go.
I know there's one that's haven't used.
Let's dig out those £5 vouchers and get them used.
Let us know if you are going to buy the Fat Hydroponic. Now, don't forget, these are great in shade and sunshine. They're winter hardy. They're easy to grow.
This one's got the Award of Garden Merit as well. So good. All gardens and happy in clay soil, which is why I love them.
Yes, it's a really easy one, but it's wonderful at that price. It really, really is. But obviously, you need to be quick on that one. £39.99, 510-428. Now, if you need any compost, we have got our best-selling product here at YouGarden. It's our premium professional compost. 2 50-litre bags, £27.98. You will get your free gift, of course. You're blooming fast. And I always say with compost, sometimes it's worth buying it separately because postage is included, so you get an extra free gift. Sometimes it's a great way of getting your total basket to over £40. In fact, this and the castor oil plant...
That would do it, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Neil's given us a tip as well.
Thanks, Neil. It's just said if I check my accounts, it will actually show me which vouchers I've used online. Thanks, Neil. I should know that, shouldn't I? I'm normally pretty good at using them, but for some reason I didn't use the last one. But all right, thank you, because I'm not quite sure where I put it. If you're wondering what we're talking about, by the way, you might be thinking, on vouchers. What vouchers? If you join the club today, I'm going to say, join me for Monday. You'll know why next week. You'll see why I'm saying join me for Monday, because we've kept our club price the same since we started, Bex, haven't we?
We have indeed, haven't we? It's just £5 today to join the club, and that's one £5 payment for the 12 months on an auto-renewal subscription.
Yeah, which you can cancel should you wish at the end of 12 months, but that will give you £20 worth of vouchers to use. And that means you've locked in your membership at £5 a year for as long as you want it.
Yeah, so, as long as you keep that auto-renewal going, you'll always only pay the £5.
Do it before Monday.
There you go.
And you'll know why next week.
There you
As
go.
my mum says, one of my mum's favourite expressions is, nothing stays the same.
No, but there are amazing things happening with the club in 2025 as well. So hopefully we've talked
Have we had many
around it
people
enough.
join today, Stu?
He's
We'll
going to
have a
have a look.
I mean, most of you are members.
All right, well, while we're waiting on there, let's have a little talk about our compost, shall we? Because it is the best compost. It's packed with incredible ingredients. It's got the best texture possible, and the texture is so important. It's made up by this composted wood fibre. It's about 50% of that, really well composted, and that allows for oxygen, for air to get down to those roots. It allows for roots to easily be able to spread and form a really nice, strong root structure.
50% composted wood fibre. Now, you've also got different types of peat in there. You've got white peat, you've got dark peat, you've got some renewable peats like sphagnum moss peat. I'm not going to get political. We're probably all striving for peat-free, but in reality, there are many growers and nurseries that feel that maybe we're not quite there yet with the peat-free. And I know, I have tried peat-free, and we do have peat-free at YouGarden, but maybe you haven't quite had the experience that you'd hoped for. So there's still peat in here, but we have reduced the quantity over the many years we've been in this compost. Right.
Smells beautiful too. It's pH balanced, so it means that it's in the perfect place for the majority of plants to live in. Ericaceous soil is completely different, or compost. We've got that available for your rhodies, for your azaleas and blueberries and things, so you can grab that, but everything else is going to live really happily in here.
Now, you've also got slow-release fertiliser. You'll find lots of little green balls in here. They're really important because they will feed your plants for up to 5 months, maybe even 6 months. So they will give them all of the support they need as they start to grow and mature. And
it's got a wetting agent in here, which makes the water sticky. It makes your watering much easier. It goes into the compost rather than sort of going over the edges of the pot.
Well, it is one of our highest rated products of all time. I actually use mine. Well, I've used it. This is the pub garden. I replaced all of the compost in the pub garden with our premium professional compost, and I'll tell you what, the plants have absolutely thrived on it. So whether it's plug plants, seeds, trees, and everything in between, this is the compost. Now, these are all the last few reviews that have come in. David, very good produce, always works well. 10 out of 10, very good, never fails. Put 2 on there, thank you very much. And another trusted customer, I really like this compost as it contains peat. There are not many composts that you can buy that do. Delivery driver was very helpful and put the heavy box in the garage for me. So thank you for those recent reviews on our premium professional compost. But we've still got a few more plants to show you. In fact, one of Bex's absolute favourites, the buddleia, coming out.
Oh, buddleia tricolour.
Yeah, I should have said
well.
the tricolour.
It's the tricolour, and that just makes it so interesting.
So that is still to come. We've also got hardy geraniums, tiny monster, that are amazing, and cutie pie, which is the most gorgeous, like diddy little rose. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
One that you've grown.
Yes. And we've got 2 of the previous ones that are favourites. We've got our Photinia and we've got our Patty's Plum. Photinia, this is the little red robin. So you'll know Photinia, it's that big one. It can get 3-4 metres height. In fact, the one I've got is probably 4 metres in height.
You can just use it as a hedge.
You can. Yes. It is beautiful. Love it. but you might want a smaller variety, and that's exactly what you're getting with Little Red Robin. This one should only get to about 1.5 meters in height, which is really compact for a Photinia. But the colour that you get on this, the new growth that comes through, sort of really early spring, late winter, early spring, when that new red growth comes through, it looks like the top of the plant is on fire. It's so bright red, it's gorgeous.
Do you know as well, last year, it was, I think it was a really good year for Photinias. Maybe they liked the wet climate, but they really did well, don't they? It's a very easy plant to look after. It looks good all year round, and you get the flowers, of course, and berries. 500, 1, 3, 4, but that one will only go to about 1.5 meters. And then the most stunning poppy you can imagine. It's called Patty's Plum. It is like the most, it's like beautiful ruffled silk and satin, and big, bold flowers.
Really
like,
big.
Really big.
I mean, these can get like 8 inches in diameter.
Yeah.
Like, they're big and beautiful. I think it's quite glamorous, this particular one, because of the colour and those lovely frilly petals that you get on here. Ridiculously easy to look after. They can flower for a decent amount of time as well. We're talking maybe up to about 6 weeks of flowering that you get from this. Right at the beginning of summertime there, sort of late spring, early summer, May and June time. Chop it right back after it's finished flowering, and you may even get a second flush of flowers. First year, because it is a bare root that you're planting, or 3 bare roots, obviously you'll get some growth, you'll get maybe a couple of flowers, but it's really about the future for this, isn't it? You know, year 2, year 3, oh my word, you'll get loads and loads of flowers, and you can divide these in the future as well.
Don't be scared of planting a bare root.
It's easy.
If you've planted bulbs, you can plant that. That's what we always say, basically.
Yeah.
But try and plant them straight away, and if you don't want to get out in the garden next week, just start them off in pots, and then when you get all the nice green growth in springtime, you can put them in your beds and borders. Now we have got
Cutie Pie.
Now, I've never grown this rose, but I remember yours from last year.
Yeah, and I should bring it in. I'll bring it in at some point when it's in bloom and everything, because this is it's a dinky little rose bush.
Is.
Okay, so this doesn't get tall at all. We're talking maybe 20 centimetres in height and maybe 25, 30 centimetre spread here. So actually in our helix pots, these would be perfect. One in each of the helix pots would be perfect for this.
You could actually use it as more of a ground cover rose, actually.
Totally, yeah. If you want it front of border or filling in a few gaps and things, absolutely perfect.
I mean, it is the cutest little rose, and you're going to get thousands of flowers throughout the season, but it's never going to go tall. It's always going to be compact.
The other amazing thing here is it has no thorns.
Oh, I'd forgotten that, yes.
Tiny plant, but absolutely thorn-free. So, you know, roses might be a problem to you or kids or whatever. You know, there might be a problem with the thorns, but you don't get them on this. It's not a problem.
I just love the whole idea of that.
It's great, isn't it? It does have a fragrance, but very delicate. So you're not going to be planting this for a fragrance, but definitely for its compact nature, the fact that it's thorn-free, that makes it desirable.
And in my head, I'm thinking I could do a whole front of a border, just a row of that all the way down the front, and that's going to flower all summer long, every single year.
You're getting 3 of them, so all you have to do is work out the multiples that you need in order to fill that border.
And about 30 centimetres width, maximum. Yeah, so spread them out a foot wide, and you're going to get just a carpet of cute colour.
Yeah, and they flower for ages as well. We are talking, you know, so June, July, August, September. So yeah, you'll get a good 4 or 5 months of flowers.
Just lovely in pots, really cute in little pots as well. Now, one of the plants that I've got a few ideas this year, what to change in my garden. More hydrangeas and more hardy geraniums. Because weren't the hydrangeas fabulous
Absolutely,
last year?
I'm totally with you on this, because, you know, the climate is changing, obviously UK, water.
I'm a year older, Bex, as well. I need
bit of low maintenance.
I do need it.
Well, you've got a massive garden, so you can't have all of it being high maintenance.
No.
And you aren't getting any younger. You're still sprightly. You're all right. But yeah,
it's true. You know,
that combination though is going to be incredible, and I love it. So I'm totally going to be doing it as well. Geranium Tiny Monster is a great one though, because you get these purple. We don't know why it's called Tiny Monster.
No,
because they're exactly the same size as other geraniums, by the way. They will grow to the same size.
We never discovered why last year.
We don't know why. We did look it up. We tried to find out. The plant will still grow to the same size as other geraniums. The flowers that you get are the same size as other geraniums as well. I think it's the colour. It's that purple, isn't it? I don't know. It's lovely anyway. About 30 centimetres height, about 50 centimetres spread. Get these planted. They are so reliable. They come back for you year after year, but they flower for flipping ages. May, June, July, August, September. Mine went into October and November this year.
566 for one.
Have I amused you?
No, this plant's just reminded me of the present that Stu bought me.
Oh, is it? You'll be able to post that on socials, I reckon. You can get away with that on socials. It's a bit rude. It's
right.
funny though.
Now, on to one of Bex's absolute favourites now, the Buddleia tricolour. But I get it, because it's a tricoloured Buddleia.
It is a tricoloured Buddleia.
I get it.
And that's what I really like about this. You know, you are getting the 3 beautiful colours that are all grown together here to create the most dazzling effect.
And if we're being really blunt and honest, like, Buddleias are great because they are the best in terms of attracting the pollinators. I mean, they're known as the butterfly bush. They are particularly good at attracting butterflies. But a regular Buddleia, the Davidii, isn't it?
The Davidii.
Yeah. Some people could say, oh, it's a little bit boring. But when you get the tricolour, suddenly it turns a Buddleia into something quite spectacular.
Exactly that, yeah. And that's why I'm a big fan of the Buddleia tricolour, because it does create this spectacular effect. You know, it's got proper flower power as well, because it flowers for quite a while during the summertime, but it attracts all of those butterflies. It's known as the butterfly bush, isn't it? You know, if you want to get those butterflies into your garden, then Buddleia is one of the best things you can have.
And the way it's been grown, it is actually 3 separate Buddleias that have been grown for a very young age together, and they're very compatible, so they're more than happy to share that space and to thrive as a family together. And you are going to get so much more colour with this. It's a lot more exciting than a traditional Buddleia. And, you know, if you're someone that loves a lot of colour in your garden, if you're trying to get more butterflies in your garden, this is certainly one to go for. Buddleias are one of the easiest plants to look after, actually. It's quite hard to kill a Buddleia.
It's very hard to kill a Buddleia, absolutely. You know, and they're just so low maintenance, you know, and actually you just hack them back and they come straight back again for you. They're great actually for providing privacy. I think I've said before, my friends have one of those static caravans on a park. They're all kind of packed in quite close together. They planted a Buddleia there, which kind of just screens off from the ones next door. So it's a really good one for lots of different reasons.
But that tricolour is particularly spectacular and exciting for Buddleia. 510198.
Now we've had a question in the chat from Grimmy, who's asking, will we be getting bare root strawberries on the show at some point?
Oh yeah,
definitely. Yeah, we'll be bringing the runners in.
Is it February normally?
Yeah, Stu's just sort of mid-February. Sort of mid to end of February is probably about the time we'll bring those in, because they'll be a perfect time for planting.
I want to do more grey round this year. I definitely do.
I need to split my strawberries this year. I think I've got them too tightly packed in, and I didn't get as many strawberries last year as I would like. So I need to split them this year. That's my job.
How long you had them as well?
This will be year 3, so it should be a really good year this year.
And don't forget, if you've got any questions at all, you can email us ygtv@yougarden.com. But any questions, we do our very best to answer. We normally come between us.
Mostly.
Yes.
Mostly. And if we don't know the answer, we'll find out for you.
We certainly will. Right, a lot of you have loved our viburnum today. This is on my list, my first order for 2025. I did mean to order this last year. I don't know what happened. I do remember seeing it and thinking,
I'll have that.
Yeah.
And then didn't. We do it sometimes, don't we? We get all excited about a plant and then we get busy doing something else and forget. But now's the time to get the viburnum, because what we've got on it is an incredible price. It's £11.99 right now, £10.79 if you are in the club. And what you're going to get from this is a really spectacular plant, isn't it? And
not only are the flowers spectacular, I mean, they're pure white, they're globes, like snowballs. They remind me of the hydrangea, the incredible that we sell. With that. But I like the fact this viburnum flowers later. I've got some that are flowering sort of like now and flower up to March, April time. This flowers in summer, doesn't it? Early summer.
It does. Really early summer. So probably about May and June, roughly. Obviously, depends on where you are and all the rest of it. We can't always be exact on these things, but roughly that's when it should be flowering for you. And it will get nice and big. It can, in a nice, happy, sunny location, it will get to 4 metres height and spread.
I mean, Imagine that covered in those flowers.
I think that's just a stunning sight, isn't it? You don't have to let it get that big, by the way, because I think that can put people off sometimes. If you want to prune it, you can do that. You can prune it back and maintain the shape slightly. But I think at full size, with those snowball flowers on there, that will be a true sight to see.
I mean, when you look at that, it's just breathtaking, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
Really love it.
Stunning.
So yeah, that has been popular today. It's a viburnum opulus snowball tree there. Something else that I would highly recommend to everybody if you're trying to go for a few areas in your garden a bit more low maintenance, Nandina. This is the Gulfstream, and I think out of all the plants that we bring you, Nandinas are definitely the most reliable every day of the year. Every day.
Just super easy gardening, evergreen. It will, when it gets maturer, have berries and flowers on there as well. Colour changing, you get lovely colours on here with its new growth that comes through, but also in the autumn time. But the fact that it's evergreen, the fact that it's relatively compact, slightly larger than other Nandinas, about 1.5 meters, but still nice and compact and just easy gardening. This is why people go for Nandinas.
Yeah. And great in pots, great in beds and borders, just very, very low maintenance.
Yeah, part shade, not a problem.
No.
Slightly more intense colour if you plant it in the sun.
And look at the price, $7.49.
Yeah.
And what I like to do in my garden is have things that are really easy, like Nandinas, but have them in pots and then just change them up. So sometimes I have bulbs around them, sometimes winter bedding, summer bedding, so you can change the way they look, but you've always got that consistency.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, I love gardening, but sometimes you just want a few areas that are...
Couple of easy bits.
But yeah.
Definitely.
And Nandinas are easy peasy, and as I mentioned earlier, great for urban gardens as well. Right, we've also got English lavender coming up for you next, with both...
Oh, it's the easiest lavender as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Stuart said why English, and I think the Hidcote is... Yeah, I would say it's the most reliable lavender in the UK to grow.
Yeah, definitely. And we've both got it in our gardens, and I do believe that it's a plant that every garden should have a little bit of somewhere, because you've got the fragrance, because it's easy to look after, it's drought tolerant once it gets established, but most importantly it's about the pollinators for me.
And I have got a bit of French lavender, but I have found the French lavender a little bit more tricky, ever so slightly.
Yes.
Got to be careful what I say. And so it is. I think it's a little bit more tricky. This one loves sunny position. It does need well-drained soil. That is important.
Yeah.
So it doesn't want to be waterlogged. And I always think with lavender, we always think about the fragrance of flowers, but actually it is evergreen, and the foliage is actually fragrant. We forget that. It's not just the flowers.
It's true, yeah. It is.
Yeah, the whole thing is.
It's a winner. It's a true winner. It's got the Award of Garden Merit from the RHS. It's also got the Badge of Perfect for pollinators. So it's an award-winning plant, and it's just an easy one for you to have.
And there's so much you can do with the dried lavender. You know, great for putting a nice fragrance in drawers. Great for deterring moths. Great in colouring uses as well. Bit of lavender in G&T. I know you've all been healthy for January.
We're all doing dry January, aren't we?
No, I'm doing moist January.
I'm doing moist January as well.
Yeah, cutting back definitely, but
I was all right. I was quite good.
Were you?
I was really good. I was actually really good.
It's really, me and my other half own a pub. Can you imagine how difficult that? It's not easy.
When I used to manage a bar,
it's not easy.
I had to quit.
Yeah. But
people buy you drinks all the time, don't you? That's the problem. And then you feel rude, so you have to drink it.
That is the trouble.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, a healthy January. But I'm gonna concentrate on the garden. And I was, when I'm gardening, you want to wake up early, get on with things. And I know the weather's not great at the moment, but there's still a lot you can do, and a lot of planning. And there's still many, I think, jobs to do in the garden pretty much every week of the year. Right, Hypericum is next, and this is what it looks like now in the winter, and we're both saying, as we've changed our gardening habits, we like to keep some of the older flowers on, some of the sea heads and things like that. And to me, this with the frost on it this morning would have looked actually quite spectacular.
Yeah, it would look magical, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about my garden. So the Rudbeckia that went over, I didn't trim it back, and it actually looks a bit similar to that with the black sort of seed heads that have been left on it. And it just provides that extra winter interest. But listen, this is about when it gets into full bloom and into full leaf, and in the summertime. Oh, this is so pretty. They're like buttercup yellow flowers that you've got on there, but the stamens that burst out of it are magical. But you haven't just got the flowers, you've got those berries on there as well that have these different colour tones. You've got yellows and peaches and oranges and reds and burgundies, and they constantly sort of change colour along with those bright yellow flowers. So it's a real interesting plant.
They are quite spectacular. Yeah. And again, a very easy one to grow. I've seen these, we say in a nice sunny position, but actually we've seen them grow in fairly shady areas as well. Just very robust. I was going to say as well, Hypericum tends to be pretty disease resistant as well.
Yeah, they don't have too many problems at all. Nice and compact. They get to about 1 metre by 1 metre. You can actually cut these as well as cut flowers. They're actually really interesting to use as sort of foliage fillers in cut flower displays. But it isn't just foliage, because you get the flowers and the berries as well.
So a real winner, that one, and it is down to just £9.19. Right, Lavatera is next, but it's a little baby on this one. It's a Barnsley baby. And
it's a baby.
It is, and I went to a lovely talk about plant breeding a little while ago, and why breeders, why they breed, and what things they look for, and a lot of plants are bred because we like. So say with the Lavatera, we love Lavatera, we love the flowers, but as gardeners got smaller, most people don't have the room for Lavatera. They're big. I mean, I've got two in my garden. They're, I'd say, 2 metres by 1.5 metres height-wise, maybe.
Yeah.
Big.
They spread. They get big. They sprawl a little bit, and that's great in the right location. But in the wrong location, that can be a problem. The Lavatera Barnsley baby was bred to be compact, about 75 centimetres height and spread here. So, somewhere between 2 and 3 feet. So the perfect pot plant. Or you could put this into borders as well. They just kind of want to go in a nice sunny spot, don't they? That's it. Flowering in succession. So the tall sort of spires of flowers that you get, they open in succession from the base to the tip, which just extends that period of interest.
And just super easy to look after. Say sunny spots. They flower on their new growth, so if you have an issue, you won't have to probably prune this a lot with it being compact, but never worry about, if I chop it back in spring, will it still flower? Because they always flower on the new growth, and pretty vigorous when they get going as well. So you get all three of those, £9.97, 50339. Don't forget very quickly to get all of the discounts, all of the savings. You need to use the offer code, which is YGTV0125. If you call us, and you're more than welcome to call us on the number at the bottom of the screen there. Just always use that code, and that unlocks all the promotions that are available and gives you your free gift as well.
Ruth's got a question. She says, can I still plant bulbs up until January ending? I thought I had more than enough, but no. So you're looking to buy some more bulbs and plant those. It's a tricky question. Where are you, Ruth? That'd be interesting to know. Look, they're better in the ground than not in the ground, absolutely. Whether you get the best flowering display from them now...
I mean, what I'd say, Ruth, is if you are going to buy some bulbs, buy some that are a bit later flowering, like tulips, because tulips don't flower till April time anyway, and you don't start planting them till November, December, ideally. But I mean, you won't want to go for things like crocus, for example, because it is a bit late for that.
Because you'll be waiting for the next year before you get any really decent displays from them.
Definitely tulips.
The thing is, Ruth, you'll get an amazing price on those bulbs right now, so you might as well do it. Fingers crossed you get some amazing displays this year, but if you don't, you'll get them next year.
I mean, Ruth, between you and I, I've still got a couple of bags to plant.
I found a bag. I thought I'd done it all, and I made a big deal of it, didn't I? I took a picture going, this is me celebrating my last bag of bulbs. Found a bag of alliums, didn't I?
Yeah, they're all right. Again, alliums, so...
Yeah, alliums. You could go for alliums, because they're slightly later.
But I would say yes. If you don't think you plant enough, yes.
Just do it.
Yeah, but I'd probably opt for tulips now, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be fine. Or alliums again. Right.
Right, let's go.
Yes, we are.
Planters.
Gone.
I know, it's flown by.
I know.
It's because we're having fun.
It has. By the way, we've had a lovely show. It's great to be back.
Stu's just said, is anyone else wondering why they haven't had a glass of wine yet? It's true, it's gone midday, and that's what happens over Christmas, isn't it? You're like, oh, it's midday. Should we have a bottle of beer?
Honestly, I could think of nothing worse. I'm like... Definitely on the slight health kick now we're into January. Right. We've also got some brilliant deals on our pots. Now these are, I'll give you the details, because it's a buy one get one free, but it is a mix and match. So you've got the clay, you've got the silver, and you have got the bronze as well.
Yeah, and you can just see the slight different colour between the bronze and the silver.
Not the bra.
Not the brass. The bronze and the silver. So it's up to you which colours you go for. I love the fact that we've got a mix and match. So you don't have to get two of the same. You can get two completely different ones if you want to. The rule is just put the ones you want in your basket and then use the code, and then every other one will be free.
But again, You can never have enough pots. They're great to rotate. These are going to last you years.
Good
Great
size
drainage.
as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Good size for changing things over.
Yeah. You know, great for your smaller displays, great for seasonal displays. And if you have still got some bulbs that need planting, you can still put them in there as well. But it is a mix and match. You need to put 2 in your basket, any 2, and one of them will be free.
There's the drainage that
and we
you've
did
got
have
in
the
there
bigger
as well,
ones of these just before Christmas. So if you bought the 13-inch ones, these would look great with those, wouldn't
I quite like the little family of pots.
Yeah,
I've got a whole mixture, you know, random selection, various different pots, and I quite like how random it all is. But it is quite nice to create a little family of pots as well, isn't it?
Totally great. Right.
Looking good, yeah. Buy one, get one free. Grab the deals on that one.
Hey, I tell you what, you've absolutely loved today.
Oh, yeah,
Look, if you are bargain hunting today, let's be honest, sometimes you think, oh, January sales and everything like that.
Well, maybe you've got some money for Christmas. Maybe somebody was generous and gave you some cash for Christmas. I got a little bit of cash.
I didn't get any cash.
I got a little bit
spent
of cash.
a lot. I did. But these are far too big for the current pots. So they're a lot bigger than you normally get at this price. And really, what we could do on the nursery is repot that in a 3-litre pot and charge loads more. But you're just getting an absolute steal on this one. And just give you an idea what that looks like in a bigger pot.
Oh,
I mean, it's amazing, isn't it?
I love that.
Isn't it? Look.
You did this earlier on, you put this in this pot, and now I want to get both things. I want to get the barley pot and I want to get the fatsia, because I think that looks fantastic in there.
What an instant display that is. And those two together...
That's what that'll look like.
Under £24.
Amazing.
Well, under £25, I should say.
Bit of compost.
I mean, if you're a club member, $12.59 for that.
Yeah.
Right, so you might have never grown a fatsia japonica castor oil plant. The great news is, easy, easy, easy.
You might be absolutely brand new to gardening as well. You might be just dipping your toe in. This is your first step into planting something. This would be a fantastic one to go for. It's beginner friendly, let's call it that. You don't need to worry too much about this one at all.
And I remember in my last garden, it was a new garden, and I planted this with lots of other plants around it in the corner, and it was magnificent. So, fully winter hardy. Sun or shade, they actually do remarkably well in shade, which is fantastic. They do flower. They're not going to flower till this year, November time. They look really exotic, don't they? But they are winter hardy.
They kind of look tropical, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Fully winter hardy, award winning as well. It's got the RHS Award of Garden Merit. Garden worthy. It means it's been through all those trials and tests. They have deemed it to be garden worthy. RHS do know some things about plants, just in case you were wondering.
And one thing that you've discovered, good in clay soils as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's tricky in clay soil. It's harder in those heavier, wetter soils. You know, there's things I've planted that just have given up because they do not like to be in that soil. But actually, the fatsia that I've got the spider's web variety. It's doing really well.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, look at that. $13.99 today, $12.59 for club members. The one thing I will say, if it's really cold, and I remember, I mean, we've not had like really bad snow for a while, but I do remember seeing this in my old garden on a really freezing morning, and it was like literally like this. But the moment the snow thawed and the frost went, it was magnificent. And you saw there this falling over. It needs repotting.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie, look, it needs repotting, doesn't it?
It's a rooty beauty is what we call this one, but it definitely needs a bit more stability in a larger pot. So do think about adding that one into your basket and giving it a good home, because I'm certainly considering it.
That for $13.99 with your free gift as well. It's amazing, isn't it?
That's a great one. Honestly, the free gift is worth £4.99, so, you know.
If I didn't have a few of these already, I'd be buying another.
I'm going to do it.
Really well.
I've only got one, so I might as well do another one. If you do want the pot to go with it, by the way, this one is called the Barley. Now, it is designed to be used outdoors or indoors, in actual fact, because there aren't any holes in it yet. You can easily drill holes into the plastic pots, much easier than stone or terracotta. But if you want to use it as an indoor plant pot, you could do.
I love it.
I do.
Say. I'm like, I should buy some more of them, but I have already got a couple of these. So, but if you want the barley there, $9.99, $136.06. Right, very quickly.
Get rid of that.
I'm going to say it one more time. If you are not a club member, because you know we've got 2 prices on the screen, you need to join the club before Monday. That's all I'm going to say. We're not allowed to say anything else, but on Monday you'll go, oh, I should have joined the club last week.
Well, it's only £5 to join the club today. And that club membership, that £5, will last you for the 12 months. It's a one-off payment, and you will only pay it that once for the 12 months on auto-renewal. And then that price that you bought the club membership at will be the price that you pay for as long as you are a member for.
Yeah. So do it now. You'll save money on your very first order today.
Yeah, because you get that 10% discount on everything that we bring you in the potting shed, the plants, the pots, the compost.
Yeah. So do it today, promise me. Because next week you'll be going, oh no, I should have joined the club last week. I'm sure it was a £5 last week. Yes. If you join now, it's £5. And as Bex has just said, it locks that price in for the rest of your life. Right. I did have a few G&Ts over Christmas.
I'm not a fan of gin and tonic, but I do like the smell. And that's exactly what you're going to get with this plant. Because, I mean, it's called the G&T plant for a reason. It does emit a scent that is very similar to a gin and tonic, and it genuinely is. Now, the foliage is aromatic, okay? So when you brush it, when you crush it, when Craig was in here earlier trimming the plant up, the smell was beautiful, wasn't it? But look at all the... I mean,
I know with a really...
It's like G&T, it's bizarre.
With a really good G&T, you've got all the different botanicals, all those different notes, and it's really quite a complex fragrance on this plant. But it's not too far off flowering, because it's got all the buds forming. It's going to flower sort of like March time. And those flowers, those star-shaped flowers, are amazing. Now, it is the deal of the week. It's normally £24.99. It is down for this week to £7.99. And if you are a club member, £7.90.
That's a great
and
one.
evergreen, of course, as well.
That's a great plant, isn't it? It's going to get really big as well. So this can get a couple of metres height and spread here. And just imagine that covered in flowers. With all that fragrance that comes with it.
I know. And it will flower in springtime when everything's coming back to life and the days are starting to get a lot longer. So imagine on a lovely spring day walking out into your garden and seeing those beautiful star-shaped flowers and then that incredible fragrance. That's exciting to think about.
I like that. Yeah. That's a really good one. That's a really good one. Oh, yeah, Stu's just saying, Grimmy or Dingo, if you've got an outside bar, have the G&T plant planted next to it. That's a great idea. Yeah, I like that.
I've got to get that, haven't I?
Yeah, you have got to get that.
I love a G&T. Right, I'll tell you what, we've just had a request to see.
Yeah, the Solia.
Yes. So, brand new today, it's known as the Australian bluebell because the flowers are like bluebells, but it comes from Australia. And it is a climber, this one. So in Australia, it would actually climb quite vigorously, but in the UK, it is a bit more compact.
Yeah, it is. It'd be great for a tower pot. It'll get to about, about 1.5 metres, maybe. So it'd be perfect at going around the tower pot. You'll get bluebell-like flowers on here in the sort of... Actually, it's really good because it's late summer, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Late summer flowering. And then you
September.
can get these fruits that appear on there as well that are a bit longer, a bit elongated. They're a bit like a blueberry. They are edible. They're apparently not quite as sweet as a blueberry, but they are edible. But I love the fact that it's evergreen and you're getting flowers and fruit, so lots of interest.
And this is the size you'll get because it's been actually grown on the stake, so that is the size that you will actually get in the 2 litre pot. We do say it's sort of semi-hardy, so hardy to about -5. So depending on where you live, depending on what kind of a winter we have, you might need to give it that bit of protection, which is why we're suggesting grow it in a pot.
Exactly that. And if it's in the tower pot, it's really easy to move, isn't it?
Right. I don't know where the time's gone. I want to remind you, we want to remind you of two of the favourites, which are the Nandina and the Viburnum. Which one do you want to start with, Bex?
Nandina, he's got those details on the screen, look. Nandina is evergreen, it doesn't drop its leaves, and it is just the easiest plant. We've got a few different varieties. This one's called Gulf Stream, but it's all about the different colour changes that you get with this. The new foliage coming through, those bright reds, you get lovely greens in the summer, but then you get these sort of golden tones in the winter time. Maturer plants have flowers and berries on there as well, and it's one of the slightly larger varieties of Nandina, so still compact though, about 1.5 metres by 1 metre is the spread.
But just easy, reliable, beautiful every day of the year, an absolute winner. And then I've already got quite a few Nandinas. But they do, if you've got the different ones, if you've already got Firepower, Obsessed, that's another one we do. Nandina's look really good grouped together, so you've got other slight variations. And the one that I'm definitely going to buy today is the viburnum. This one here.
The opulus, the snowball tree, which from the picture you can clearly see why it's called that. Flowering in about May, June time. So a nice transitional point, actually. When a lot of the spring bulbs are going over, but the summer flowers aren't quite out yet, you're going to get your snowball tree happening. Getting really big as well if you let it. 4 metres. Oh my word, are we done already?
We are, apparently. Sorry, do you know what? I'm looking at that image of the viburnum. I mean, it's beautiful, amazing, isn't it? And it's been one of the most popular. So, if you're looking for new houseplants, we've got houseplants on TikTok this afternoon from 2 till 4. Because I know everyone's taken the decorations down and the house looks bare.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it, when you do that?
Well, I haven't done mine yet, but I know it will do. And we're both back on Sunday, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
Both back on Sunday for YGTV in the morning and then TikTok in the afternoon.
Yeah, so thank you, by the way, thank you for being part of our very first show of 2025.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your orders. Grimmy's just put an order in, apparently. He's gone for a Fatsia and a Nandina. Nice choice.
Good choices. But no G&T. No G&T plans.
Next time.
No. It's been wonderful to be back.
Thank you.
Back.
Yeah, lovely.
Good,
had a great time, thanks.
And even Stu's been okay, hasn't he?
He's been all right.
I'll see you this afternoon on TikTok and we're both back on Sunday at 9:30. Take care.